Boar's Head is bringing a slice of Japan to the deli. Introducing Boar's Head Ichiban Teriyaki-style chicken. Tender, slow-roasted chicken breast, coated in our signature teriyaki glaze, where ginger, garlic, and a hint of brown sugar meet for a flavor that's both sweet and savory. New Boar's Head Ichiban Teriyaki-style chicken. The bold flavor of Japan. Now at the deli. Only from Boar's Head. Compromise elsewhere.
Blog Talk Radio.
Here we go. Blast off.
This is True Capitalist Radio. True Capitalist Radio.
I am your host, the man they call Ghost.
The badass of business.
Give him capitalism or give him death.
That's it. Period.
Broadcasting from his Skyline office studios in beautiful downtown Austin, Texas.
You sound fruitier than a box of Fruit Loops, for Christ's sake.
And now, he'll take it from here. Your host, the prognosticator of prognosticators, the man they call Ghost.
Once again with another edition of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. And of course, I am your host, the man they call Ghost. And I want to thank everybody for tuning in with me. This is episode number 55 for all the people that are keeping track with the True Capitalist broadcast. Once again, folks, before we get into anything, I'd like for everybody to please retweet the broadcast and spread it around like wildfire by sending people to blogtalkradio.com/ghost. That's blogtalkradio.com/ghost. And tell them to come on down, chat with us, call in with us, do whatever it takes, man. It's a great time here on the live broadcast. And it's always a good time on the True Capitalist Radio show. But, we've got a variety of things to talk about today. It's a Wednesday. It's hump day. It's a little bit of a hump day up in here, and I'm feeling as if I want to take a little bit of a step back as opposed to being, so consumed with informing. I'm just bombarding people with information out here. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Let's just go right into the markets before we get into anything else, folks. Another plus side, folks. Like I said, it seems to me like this damn market is unstoppable. It's unbelievable. We're continuing to see gains. Economic data that came out as far as private sector jobs increasing this time was a economic indicator that also fueled markets. We're seeing a lot of takeovers, a lot of like I was saying in a blog, folks. If you look back at the old blog that I had, I prognosticated the fact that we were going to have merger mania. And a lot of that merger mania is actually coming in and getting this market and continuing to fill gains on the plus side. So before we get into anything else, let's go ahead and overview the market, shall we? Dow Jones Industrial closes out today. Jesus Christ, I almost sound like a Frenchman there. It closes out today at 12,350.60, an increase of 71.60 points. A percentage increase of 0.58%, little over 0.5% increase on the Dow Jones Industrial. S&P closed out today at 1,328.26, an increase of 8.82 points, a percentage increase of 0.67%. NASDAQ closed out today at 2,776.79, an increase of 19.90 points, a percentage increase of 0.72%. So once again, the market bulls continue to have control of the equities markets out here. If you happen to be, having anything invested in the stock market as of late, you should be having yourself a very decent day, for Christ's sake. Even the 401kers out there, even the people that are just giving their money to mutual fund managers and hedge fund managers and 401k managers, even you are having a good day in this bull market because we're seeing increases all the way around. Unbelievable. Anyway, let's get through the commodities, shall we? Once again, Brent crude saw a sell-off, modest sell-off. It was down 4 cents. Brent crude closes out today at $115.12 a barrel. Gasoline futures continue to go down. Once again, I hope this reflects future gas prices here in the next couple of weeks because we're continuing to see these sell-off on gas futures. Gas futures down today $4.25, a percentage decrease of 0.44%. Heating futures are down 7 cents. Natural gas futures spiking up once again, folks. We were talking about the sell-off in natural gas and commodities markets. Well, we're seeing it once again. A dramatic increase today in natural gas futures, increased 12 cents today, a percentage increase of 2.84% alone. So, there's definitely some shorting, some impulsive speculation. There's definitely some things happening here in the gasoline futures market, not the gasoline futures, the natural gas futures market, because we've seen sell-offs, increases, definitely some shorting going on there. Let's go into the WTI sweet crude futures, folks, which is the crude oil North America consumes, which is the price point we want to keep our eye on as far as investors and capitalists in the American country, in the United States. We definitely want to understand what's going on in the sweet crude futures market, all right? Now, right now, we are under $105. We saw $105, $106 last week. We're down to $104.34 a barrel of WTI sweet crude. Now, the reason I continue to say that everybody should keep their eye on that price is because we need to make sure that this particular price goes down at least to about $90 a share. At least to about $90 or $90 a share, $90 to $95, $98 a barrel of oil. Once we see WTI sweet crude go down to $98, $99, $97, these types of prices, we're going to start seeing a rebound, a legitimate rebound in our economy. And the reason is, folks, is because we're going to start seeing the lowering of people's prices being paid at the gas pumps. Not to mention that the prices that are being reflected in a lot of the goods we buy is the increases are coming from the shipping costs and the price that it takes from the goods getting from one place to another. You know what I'm saying? So we got to keep our eye on WTI sweet crude. It's $104.34 a barrel. We want to see it in the 90s, folks, all right? Anyway, it decreased today at 45 cents, percentage decrease of 0.43%. Let's get through the agricultural, shall we? Canola futures are up 80 cents. Cocoa futures continue to see a sell-off, even though, we're seeing destabilization in the Ivory Coast. Latest reports out of the Ivory Coast, folks, that the opposition to the current leader that's in power, that just doesn't want to leave, that got unelected last fall and just doesn't want to leave, reports coming out today that the opposition or the recognized, United Nations recognized leadership, the recognized opposition, is actually in control of certain key factions of the Ivory Coast now. So, I don't know what that means. I'm hoping that there's going to be some stabilization in that region at this point in time. We were reporting, for the past couple of days that the sitting unelected president that doesn't want to leave the Ivory Coast leadership had ordered his men to go into neighborhoods of people that voted against him in the elections and literally shoot people at will, just start mowing these people down at will. Men, women, children, it didn't matter. So I think this act of just complete brutality is what literally brought all these rebels together and starting to overtake these strongholds by this bastard in power at the Ivory Coast. I think this sell-off in cocoa futures reflects that. When we've continued to see sell-offs in cocoa after dramatic increases. We remember Valentine's Day, folks. People were paying lots of money for a damn box of chocolates out here. You know what I'm saying? So bottom line is we're seeing sell-offs on cocoa. Cocoa futures are down $70 today, a percentage decrease of 2.29%. After dramatic steep decreases in coffee, we're seeing buybacks. Coffee futures are up $3.35, a percentage increase of 1.28% today. Corn futures sold off. They're down $8.50, a percentage decrease of 1.27% today. Cotton futures, we're continuing to see sell-off. I hope that we continue to see that price decrease because I'm sick and tired of these threads going up so high that you're literally paying $90 for a freaking Ed Hardy T-shirt that was made in China. That's no better than an off-the-rack Walmart special. Anyway, decreases in cotton right now, $1.21. It's down a percentage decrease of 0.62%. Wheat futures are down $10 today, so we're seeing sell-offs after increases in wheat futures. That's a percentage decrease of 1.36%. Soybean futures are up today, up $10.50, a percentage increase of 0.77%. A continuous sell-off on lumber futures, folks. We've been talking about the reason that there's a sell-off. Once again, the bad economic data coming out from the real estate industry, not looking good. So we're seeing not only a sell-off in lumber futures, but if you take a look at all the home builder stocks, they've been on the negative for the past several days because of this economic data coming out of the real estate market, where 19 out of 20 major American cities are seeing all-time lows for the real estate. So it's getting a little hairy, to say the least, in the real estate market. Everybody's questioning whether or not this is the bottom, but that remains to be seen. Lumber futures, of course, are down $3.40 today, a decrease of 1.11% today. Oat futures are selling off, down $1.50. Soybean oil futures are up 30 cents, and wool, after being stagnant, saw increases yesterday, continue to see increases today, up $19, an increase percentage of 1.45%. Well, geez, man, I'm telling you, you see sell-offs on one thing, buy-ins on others. Unbelievable. Let's go on to the industrial metals and precious metals. We've got copper futures down. A lot of sell-offs in copper, down $8.35, a percentage decrease today of 1.92%. But gold and silver, folks, what have I been saying? What have I been saying all along? The prognosticator of prognosticators. Anyway, gold, of course, is seeing some, volatility, folks. We've been, kind of flirting with these prices of 14.5, 14.24, 14.30 for a long time here. I'm waiting for this to move up a little bit more in dramatic form here, whether it be through news, whether it be through emotional impulsive buys, whether it's through future bad earnings. I don't know when this gold is going to move, but it's going to move, and it's going to move quick. Mark my words. But once again, I have continued to say, we forgot about the price of gold. Price of gold today closed out at $1,424 even, an increase of $6.50 today, a percentage change increase of 0.46%. Now, let's talk a little bit about silver because, I was getting ahead of myself there. Silver is looking bullish. Like I said, the market bulls look like they are in complete and total control of silver. People think I'm nuts when I'm saying I could see silver at $50, but I think I can honestly see it at $50, for Christ's sake, man. Once again, the reason that we're seeing such a bull market on silver is because, not to mention that it is a product that people like to wear as an alternative to gold for fashion statements and whatnot, but also it has an industrial usage, more to a capacity than gold. And this is why you're starting to see these market bulls take control of the silver market. And let me tell you, even at these prices, I think silver's looking pretty good. Today it increased 1.31% today. It closed out today at $37.47 a troy ounce, an increase of almost 48 cents today. An increase of 48 cents. This is what I'm saying, folks. Good Lord. You know what I'm saying? Good God is all I got to say to that. And I'm still bullish on silver, man. Are you kidding me? You're damn right. What have I been saying? The market bulls are in control of the silver market, and any way you can take advantage of that play, whether it's through ETFs, whether it's through investing in actual physical silver, whether it's obtaining silver through a variety of different methods, whatever. But you need to get on that bull bandwagon right now if you are thinking that it's just going to somehow go away or something. Anyway, live cattle futures, folks, are up 97 cents, an increased percentage of 0.83%. Live cattle feeder is continuing to go up. It's increased it's increased 67 cents, a percentage increase of 0.48%. And we're starting to see a little bit of sell-off on hog futures, but not to worry, folks. We've seen dramatic increases in this particular livestock future sector. I have said I'm bullish on lean hog futures ever since the unfortunate incidents and the natural disasters afflicted with Japan occurred. I am still bullish on it. I just think today we're seeing a little bit of sell-off because people are taking those profits, when the lean hog futures were a lot cheaper, taking those profits and parlaying those profits into other financial instruments that are getting more and more percentage gains at this point in time. I mean, look at the equities market. It seems like it's unstoppable, for Christ's sake. It's unstoppable. Anyway, lean hog futures are down 57 cents today, a percentage decrease of 0.56%. So a 0.5% down today. Like I said, it's a modest sell-off. But they'll be back, guaranteed. If you like pig, if you like pork, if you like a good ham bone, this is definitely going to be affecting your pocketbook here. No BS. Anyway, that's the markets for your ass, folks. I want to thank you very much for tuning in with me. Once again, if you could please retweet the broadcast. blogtalkradio.com/ghost is the link to send people. We're chatting here. We're kicking back. If you're not here at the live show, then you don't know what the hell you're missing, for Christ's sake. I mean, good Lord. Anyway, I want to hear from you, 646-652-4869. I know we got some stuff here on the agenda, and we're supposed to talk about some stuff, but we may get to it, we may not get to it, I don't know. But what I do want to talk a little bit about is the true capitalist portfolio. I mean, good Lord. I mean, we're almost 7% increase as a whole. You know that? Almost 7% increase in the true capitalist portfolio. And I just want to keep reiterating some of these picks because they're just going unbelievable, to be honest with you. They're going really unbelievable. Let's go to my favorite. One of the security plays that ended up being one of the biggest increases in the true capitalist portfolio, and I'm talking about symbol COKE. And what am I talking about? I'm talking about Coca-Cola. As a matter of fact, I've got myself a Coca-Cola. I've got myself a bottle of Crown Royal Black, which is literally like legalized, bourbonized moonshine. And I'm gonna actually make myself a mixed drink right now while I talk about Coca-Cola as the stock symbol COKE. Let me go ahead and open up this Coke. Oh yeah, that's a Coke sound here. Let me go ahead and mix this drink here. The reason that I was, telling people back in, the February 4th. February 4th, I made the idea known that people should be entertaining the stock of Coke for a security play. Even if you're not somebody who is a stock guru, somebody who reads the news, somebody who understands the trade patterns, whatever. Analysis, whatever it is that you base your stock picks on. If you're just somebody that just doesn't know investing, the thing you would want to do is all your monthly income, try to allocate as much as you possibly can for savings, and then put it in a security stock like Coke. And why did I say Coke? Well, because first of all, Coke isn't going anywhere. If you look at their balance sheet, these guys are sitting on cash, they're sitting on billions in cash. They're ready for rainy days, and it doesn't look like Coke is going to have a rainy day. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't look, once again, we reported a couple of weeks ago that Diet Coke has overtaken Pepsi as the number 2 soft drink here in America. So now you've got Coke in the number 1 and number 2 spots in its market. Can you get any more security than that? Could you get any more security than that? Let me tell you, the investors are starting to witness this. The investors are starting to understand what I've been talking about on symbol COKE. At the time, February 4th, when I put out the bullish announcement from the True Capitalist portfolio, when I added it to the True Capitalist portfolio, the price was at $53.16, and people were kind of complaining at the time. People are complaining at the time that, oh, yeah, it's too high, Ghost. It couldn't go much higher. I mean, even if it didn't go, I mean, you get dividends. I mean, it's a security play, and whatever percentage increase that you would have gotten, it's better than leaving it in the bank at 1%, or even if you're lucky, if you get 1%. You're not even keeping up with the rate of inflation at 1%. But anyway, $53.16 on February 4th when we added it to the True Capitalist portfolio. Today, it closed out at $65.76, baby. It increased today 29%. 29 cents it increased today. The total increase from February 4th to now, if you would have entertained the stock, you would have got 23.70% on your goddamn money. Woo! Oh, man. And, I hate to keep reiterating this. You know what I'm saying? Because symbol COKE, $65.76. That's 23.70% on your money if you'd have listened to us. That's better than Bernie Madoff rip-off pyramid schemes. I mean, do you understand? I mean, you don't just get these kinds of gains. You just don't. You know what I'm saying? I mean, when you go put your money in a 401k, when you go put your money in some mutual fund, when you go put your money in these things, you don't get these types of gains, baby. That's why I'm saying True Capitalist Radio, gives you the ideas, gives you the insight, gives you the ability to be able to read companies, be able to understand that, hey, if I'm going to invest in a company, it better have the three fundamentals that have been issued by the True Capitalist, the True Capitalist Radio Show. The first one, they have to have demand, folks. Your stock has to have demand. Secondly, your stock has to have good fundamentals, which means good PE ratio, low debt-to-income ratios, that sort of thing. And third, and most important, it has to have profit. It has to have profit, baby. You understand what I'm saying? And if you have all three of those elements in your stock, you should invest in it, and you should be making some serious capital. Just like symbol COKE has made capital for the True Capitalist portfolio here. Once again, if you would have listened to us, you would have paid somewhere in the range of $53.16, give or take a couple of cents. Today, it closed out $65.76, a percentage increase of 23.70% on your goddamn money. And let me go on to the next one. Amerigroup, of course, that's the health insurance stock. These health insurance plays, which are definite security plays, not to mention profitable. Amerigroup, symbol AGP, we were bullish on this stock February 18th, and at the time you would have been able to pick it up for $55.85. Give or take a couple of cents, okay? $55.85, February 18th. Today, AGP closes out at $64.14. It went up $1.67 today alone. That would be 14.84% on your goddamn money, for Christ's sake, man. Whoo, man, I mean, let me tell you something, man. I mean, I don't mean to toot my own horn, but beep, beep. Do you understand what I'm saying? A beep, beep. All right, the next big gainer, Valero. What have I been saying, folks? On March 3rd, I was bullish on Valero, and people were, pissing and moaning that it was dipping a little bit after that because, there was an accident on one of these drilling areas on the coast, off the coast of Louisiana that killed somebody, and Valero's going to have to settle something out of court. Even with that, I thought that Valero was way undervalued. You compare Valero, symbol VLO, you compare this gas company to all the other energy companies like Exxon, Chevron. I mean, these companies are $80, $120 a share. At the time, March 3rd, you would have been able to pick up Valero at $27, all right? $27 you would have been able to, pick up Valero. Today it closed out at $30.73. That's 13.81% on your goddamn money. I mean, woo! And of course, folks, even though oil has been, decreasing on the futures end, If you would have listened to us on this ETF that reflects the price of oil as it gains, symbol OIL, on February 22nd, you would have got in on this ETF at $23.90. Today it was down 12 cents, but it still closed out at $27.55. That's 15.27% on your goddamn money. I mean, good God. Good God. Anyway, I'm going to go, move on. I mean, everybody hates when I'm sitting here gloating about these picks, for Christ's sake. Not to mention HealthSpring, symbol HS. When we were bullish on it February 18th, you would have listened to us, you would have been up over 9% on your money there. Dell Computer, we were bullish there. If you would have listened to us February 16th, you'd be up almost 5% on your money there. I mean, it's just... Let me go ahead and move on. 646-652-4869 is the number to call here. You're listening to the True Capitalist Portfolio. Excuse me. You know what's on my brain, baby. Money and cash. Anyway, you're listening to True Capitalist Radio. I am your host, the man they call Ghost. And once again, I want to thank everybody for tuning in with me. Let me go ahead and give some shout-outs to the people that are already tuning in, that are listening live to the broadcast. And, of course, if you're listening live, please retweet it, go on the social networking sites, go onto the blogs, whatever it takes, and spread it around like wildfire that True Capitalist Radio is in effect in the house, and send them right here, blogtalkradio.com/ghost. We got Capitalizing in the house, and apparently out there he's having a huge storm in his house, so I hope Capitalizing's all right. Future DMB is in the house. What's going on, Future? Goku, man, what's going on, Goku? We got Goofy Bone in the house, probably giving people bones out here. We've got Oscar Talks. We got Penelope Pillowtop, okay? We got Haver Cooch. What's going on there, Haver Cooch? We got Peter Bergeron in the house. We got The Truth Is Out There, man. What's going on? We got Tupac Shakur back from the dead, and we got a whole bunch of guests. Lots of guests in the house. I want to thank them for tuning in also. Anyway, 646-652-4869 is the number to call. I want to hear from you. If you got something to say to me, get on the horn here. As a matter of fact, let me go ahead and pour in this Crown and Coke here, so I can go ahead and get sipping and start drinking here. And everybody says, oh, you're a little bit of a drinker, Ghost. You're a little bit of an alcoholic, Ghost. I mean, well, Jesus Christ, it's a hell of a lot better than, getting hooked on these ridiculous Prozacs and Xanax and Zoloft and all this other nonsense that has the side effects of potentially wanting to commit suicide, for heaven's sake. I don't want to have anything. I know the side effects of liquor. I know what's going on. As a matter of fact, I only drink it during the, after working. And that's what every true capitalist should remember. Don't ever drink while you work. You should be drinking after a hard day's work. And after that hard day's work, if you didn't make money, don't drink. I mean, if you didn't make large sums of capital, there should be no reason why you're drinking. You should be just saving that money and waiting for the next day so you can make some hard-ass capital, for Christ's sake. Anyway, I've got some Coke with some Crown Royal Black, which is literally like, moonshine. It's pretty strong stuff. Don't advise people to drink it, but, I like it because, I've had my fair share of this type of hard stuff, and I like Crown Royal to begin with. So cheers to everybody out there who's listening in. Cheers. Let me tell you something right now, man. I could probably light a match, blow into that match, and just, flamethrow right now, man. There's so much goddamn alcohol in this. Anyway, I want to hear from you, folks. 646-652-4869. I want to talk a little bit about the Libyan situation that our government insisted that we were going to be there for a limited amount of time, and that NATO was going to take control, and that there's not going to be any ground troops. Now we're questioning whether or not we should supply arms. We should be flying arms to the rebels, or the so-called rebels in Libya. Now, folks, once again, I hate to keep reiterating this fact, but we don't even know who those rebels are. We don't even know if these rebels that are fighting against Gaddafi are Al-Qaeda. Because once again, if you research eastern Libya, there are factions in eastern Libya that have been in opposition of Gaddafi, have been raising hell in Libya for a long period of time, that are connected with Al-Qaeda here. You know, I mean, and not to mention, there hasn't been any proof shown to us as the American people, nor has there been any proof on the internet, any websites, any propaganda films stating that these Libyan rebels are pro-democracy or pro-capitalism. We have no proof of this, and yet we've already bombed the hell out of Libya for a so-called no-fly zone. We've already, bombed the hell out of compounds of Muammar Gaddafi. Americans already look like crusaders because of this move, thanks to the chicken hawks that are in Washington that are orchestrating this whole thing, while Obama's just being, pulled by the strings, told what to say, how to say it, because he is not in charge. And if you think he's in charge, I'd like to ask you once again, I hate to keep reiterating this, but what president gets locked out of the White House? I mean, what president do you know has ever been locked out of the White House? Do you understand how embarrassing that is? Do you understand what kind of message that sends to everybody out there that knows the score in politics? It goes to show that this man is so insignificant, we won't even go and meet him at the door. We won't even unlock the door for this man. And let me tell you something, Barack Obama is definitely not in charge, and yet he's defending this military offensive. Remember when he was in Brazil and this initial no-fly zone strike was initiated that was supposed to be some sort of United Nations multilateral front in this no-fly zone situation? What was he touting back in Brazil and South America when he was visiting hot tamale whore bags out there? He was touting, we need regime change. We need Gaddafi out of there. I want him out, baby. I want Muammar Gaddafi out of there, baby. That's the way it is. You understand what I'm saying? That's the way it is. And lo and behold, what happens? He gets back to America. The bureaucracy, sits him down and says, look, boy, that's not what we're doing here, okay? And what happened this past Sunday? You had Robert Gates and Hillary Clinton reiterating some new idea, some new policy that wasn't necessarily interpreted correctly by the American people, because every one of these bureaucracies were telling us a different story. So now, this past Sunday, they tell us that regime change is not a military objective, and that the only objective that the military is, being utilized for is to help the rebels have a fighting chance in attempting to implement democracy in their country. And I think that's a big load of crap. Do you understand? Because now, folks, believe it or not, Gaddafi's forces have literally taken control of a lot of these strongholds that were taken over by the rebels. Gaddafi's forces are offensive, or having an offensive that are making these rebel forces retreat from certain strongholds, especially oil ports that were taken over by the rebels. Gaddafi's forces have overtaken them. And the reason that they're giving, the rebels are giving for them being overtaken by Gaddafi's forces, that they have no artillery, that they have no weapons, that, Gaddafi's forces they're coming in with tanks, they're coming in with hardcore artillery, and they're able to just come in and just kind of mow them down. And that the only way that they were able to make these offensives and take over these strongholds was the fact that the so-called quote-unquote no-fly zone, well, basically it was NATO and France and America, the Brits, everybody bombing the hell out of strongholds that Gaddafi had, bombing the hell out of tanks. That's why when you saw the images coming out of Libya, there were images of people on top of blown-up tanks. You understand? And they didn't blow them up themselves. The no-fly zone air flights over Libya were bombing these tanks, and this is why these rebels were able to, unfortunately, take control. And now they're not in control because Gaddafi is coming in with a new offensive. Now you've got the United States questioning whether or not we should go down there and give arms to the rebels. Now, you understand what this means if we start giving arms to the rebels? That this starts becoming, something like a damn disgusting situation like Vietnam. Or, this could potentially get ugly. I don't even know what we're doing here to begin with, all right? Now, we've already, we're pot committed in poker terminology. We're already pot committed. We've already invested not only money, we've already shown to the international community that, we have this certain Obama doctrine that we're obliging by, and going in and bombing the hell out of Libya, bombing the hell out of Libya, for Christ's sake. And, for what? What, for humanitarian purposes? And as I've said in countless shows, there are a tremendous amount of humanitarian efforts that the United States could focus their attention on. Not to mention proven people that want capitalism, proven people that want democracy that are getting mowed down by their governments because they don't want them to have it. It's disgusting. Anyway, let me take a sip of this, for Christ's sake. Let me go ahead and take a sip of this Crown and Coke here. Whew. I'm sorry, Biz. That's some harsh stuff, man. But anyway, seriously, man, we're here. Libya is now being overtaken back by Gaddafi. And how is Gaddafi doing this? Well, remember, folks, this guy has an oil deposit right underneath his country. So he's been able to pump out oil for the past 40 years that he's been in office and sell it on the world market. And he's basically got all this stuff planned. Do you think every dictator has this type of emergency situation in the back of their playbook? This guy has the state-of-the-art tanks. Why do you think that we had to go in there, supposedly, to stop Gaddafi's airplane pilots from bombing the hell out of his own people? Because he has jets. He has pilots. He has these sophisticated weapons because he's rich enough as a leader of an oil-rich country to afford them. So this is why Gaddafi has been able to overtake these so-called rebels that had strongholds at one point. Now they're retreating. The rebels are now retreating, for Christ's sake. And what does this say for America? We were only supposed to be here for a little bit. Isn't that what the leaders told us, huh? Isn't that what all these leaders? We're going to be there just for a little bit. Then we're going to let NATO take over. NATO's going to take over. NATO doesn't even want to have nothing to do with this. You notice how NATO was supposed to take over like 2 days ago, and they keep prolonging it because nobody wants to have anything to do with this. This exercise in military theater was conjured up by Hillary Rotten Clinton, Susan Rice, and Samantha Powers, 3 chicken hawk bimbos in the bureaucratic system of government that have enough influence within the bureaucracy to overtake the authority of Barack Obama. I kid you not. This is what it all comes down to. All these 3 women have the influence within the bureaucratic structure to make sure that these types of ideas in foreign policy are implemented. And at the same time, Barack Obama doesn't really care much. He's just like, hey, man, I'm glad I made it president, baby. You understand? I'm glad I made it president. I don't care. You tell me what to say, baby. I'm just glad. I'm gonna go make myself a March Madness bracket, baby. I want to go out to Brazil and go see some of that Carnival Poontang, baby. Yeah. Give me a break. Anyway, I want to hear from you, for Christ's sake. 646-652-4869 is the number to call here. What do you think about this? What do you think about this disgusting situation that America has now dedicated itself to? Because we have dedicated ourselves to this Libyan situation. This is our situation now. We have been interpreted by the already inflamed Muslim world that we are going in and taking over another Islamic country and that we're overstaying our welcome. I mean, we're crusaders. The whole 9 yards, man. We're already adding propaganda to these damn Islamic extremists. You know, I mean, thanks a lot, Obama. Thank you. And not only that, we don't even know if these Libyan rebels want capitalism. We don't even know if these Libyan rebels want democracy, for Christ's sake. I mean, the media hasn't even told us this. I mean, our State Department has certain groups in the eastern Libya province that have been affiliates of Al-Qaeda. Our own government has told us this, and this is the same region where we're implementing not only this no-fly zone, but we're also considering, there is talk right now on whether or not we should give arms to these rebel factions. There's question on whether or not we should give weapons to these people. Now, why does this sound so familiar? It kind of sounds like, you know, back in the day when Robert Gates, you know, our Secretary of Defense was, you know, a CIA spook. You know what I mean? Yeah, it was one of these CIA operatives back in the old days when, you know, the Afghan-Russian war was happening. Remember, this is the same idea that him and his cronies did out there in the CIA by arming the Mujahideen in Afghanistan to cripple the Russian takeover or attempt takeover at Afghanistan. Those jihadists ended up turning those guns on us. And I don't know if Robert Gates is doubling down on this or what the case might be, but this is a bad decision. If we arm these people, it's a bad decision. If we should be arming anybody, it should be the people of Iran. And, you know, I find it sick to my stomach that this media isn't even acknowledging the lives being lost in Iran. They're not even acknowledging the revolution that's happening in Iran, for Christ's sake. I mean, it's starting to look a little deliberate to me. It's almost starting to look a little deliberate that they don't even want people to know that there are actual people getting slaughtered and their families are being, you know, butchered up. They're being taken. They're being put in prison. They're being tortured. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, it's just utterly disgusting that we are just turning a blind eye to the individuals in Iran. And Iran is the country we want to fall. We want to see the Ayatollah gone. We want to see Ahmadinejad out of there. And yet we are just paying no attention to the opposition that's within the borders of Iran. And we should be funding these people. We should be clandestinely helping these individuals because they are proven capitalists. They are proven democracy thinkers. I mean, these are individuals dying for it in the street out there in Iran. They're dying for it in the street. And we're turning a blind eye. And yet we go into Libya, where there's known Al-Qaeda factions in eastern Libya, and we're going out there helping these people, thinking about arming these people. It's just stupid. 646-652-4869 is the number to call here. Let's take some calls. Area code 213, you're on the air.
Ghost, baby, what's going on? How you doing today?
I'm not doing too well. I mean, you know, the world just seems to be getting worse and worse, for Christ's sake. What's your excuse?
I understand, but look, Ghost, I got a bone to pick with you, okay? I went to the library yesterday and got on the computer and tried to sign up for the capitalist army, and my account got deleted, baby. My account got deleted. Why did you delete my account, baby?
I'll tell you why your account got deleted, because you didn't put you didn't put information that was related to you. You were putting up a spam profile on the capitalistarmy.com. All right, you were putting up a spam profile, and, you know, I think you put down as your name Dat Ass or something. Dat Ass as your name. So, no, absolutely, of course it got rejected.
Look, baby, that's just how I express myself. I didn't know I had a...
What? Where the hell did you go?
I don't understand why you know you got to delete the...
What the hell? You're cutting in and out. What's going on? What is that, cheap-ass welfare phone cutting in and out on you? What's going on, for Christ's sake? You choking your kid? You got it in a plastic bag or something? What's going on?
I don't know, baby. Look, I want to know why my account got deleted. And, you know, I think it's kind of racist. to be honest.
It's not racist.
I'm gonna talk to my.
Oh, give me a break. Get this stupid moron off. Get him off. It's racist. Are you kidding me? First of all, I reserve the right. It's a private social networking site, all right? You pocket phone calling, can't get a signal, even if you're on top of your house having a piece of garbage, all right? It's a private social network, and not to mention, you are not a capitalist. Do you understand what I'm saying? You are a disgusting scum on the face of the planet. You are an individual who mooches off of our government system. You're somebody who collects checks. You are part of the problem. So why exactly would you be a part of the capitalistarmy.com? Why would you even think that we would even acknowledge your presence on the capitalistarmy.com? Don't you understand that this is a real social network where capitalists, and I'm talking about true capitalists, can exchange ideas, can communicate with one another, can highlight certain oppressions to our vital interests, and act in concert and necessary. This is what I'm saying. These types of social networking sites are very important. The only difference is that when you go on to Facebook and you go on to MySpace, you have to intermingle with the general mass public. And let me tell you something, folks, the general mass public sucks. All right, the general mass public these people can't even, they don't have a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of, but if you go on their stupid social networking profiles, they got a bunch of pictures of them boozing it up, partying, going out there, taking illegal narcotics, showing off their iPhones and, taking pictures of themselves with their squinched up sideways mouth. I don't know what the hell that's about. That needs to stop. You understand? That needs to stop. The whole, I'm going to take a picture of myself, and I'm going to squinch my face all the way to the side like I've got some kind of neurological disorder and look up as if I'm trying to hide the fat in my face. If you're worried about how you look on a picture, if you're worried if your face looks a little fat, well, then maybe you need to put the fucking fork down. Excuse my French, all right? Secondly, if you're worried about, I don't know if people are going to like the way I look in my picture, well, then you're an idiot. If you're worried about what the general masses think about what you look like, you're a moron. Look at what the general masses are doing, for Christ's sake. They're voting for Dances with the Stars. They're voting for American Idol, while these power-hungry autocrats in Washington are pussyfooting around with our country. They can't even come up to an agreement with a budget, man. We don't even have a budget for fiscal year 2011 because these assholes are bitching and moaning at each other what shouldn't be cut because they all like their little pork barrel projects. So give me a break. For this guy to be pissed off, it's racist, man. You didn't accept my profile on the capitalistarmy.com, baby. Well, you know what? It's because you were making a jackass out of the social network, and I am not going to let anybody make a jackass of the social network. All right? It's a serious subject matter. It's for capitalists. It's for individuals that want to make cash, individuals that want to make money. And as a matter of fact, for all you folks that don't understand what I'm talking about, there is a social networking site strictly for capitalists. All right? Capitalistarmy.com. Capitalistarmy.com. And let me tell you something, it is going to be exclusively for those that are capitalists throughout the world. It doesn't matter where you're located at. Capitalists throughout the world. Now, how do you know you're a capitalist? Well, first and foremost, folks, you got to work for a living. You understand what I'm saying? It doesn't mean you have to work for somebody. It doesn't mean that you got to work, it doesn't matter what you do for a living as long as you're getting paid to do it. That's what makes you a capitalist. Secondly, you have to pay taxes, all right? You have to pay taxes because, let me tell you something, that should be a prerequisite for voting. Us true capitalists, we're not going to be happy unless voter reform is truly implemented, and a prerequisite before voting is showing that you actually paid taxes into the government so that you can have the authority to participate in the political process, all right? And thirdly, folks, you cannot collect 1 red cent from the government. You understand what I'm saying? You cannot collect 1 red cent from the government, and that makes you a capitalist. And I'm calling on all those that fit that criteria. I want you to join the capitalist army, capitalistarmy.com. And let me tell you, the reason those profiles are all screened is because we don't want any jag-offs. We don't want a mockery of this. We want true capitalists, man. Hey, you want to make a jag-off off of people, man? Go to Facebook. You understand? Go to MySpace for that crap. We don't want the general public involved with the social networking side of the capitalistarmy.com. We want business people. We want investors. We want workers. We want individuals that actually work for a living, that actually work hard for the possessions that they have, that actually want to invest, that want to make their money and flip it. Do you understand? That's what this show's about. That's what the capitalistarmy.com's about. It's about making money, and it's about spreading capitalism worldwide throughout the world. So, for that idiot with the crying baby, who's always choking his kid in the background, if you're pissed because you're not a part of the capitalist army, that's because you are a piece of trash. You understand? You are a part of the problem. You're an imbecile that's collecting from the government that's making no contribution to our society. You're making none. No contribution. On the contrary, you're shitting out more kids, for Christ's sake, and adding to the problem. You're shitting out more kids and having more mouths to feed, for Christ's sake. And you're still not going out and working. You're still not doing anything productive. The only thing that you're doing by collecting money from the government and existing is turning perfectly good food into shit. That is your contribution if you are a government entitlement recipient. You're just turning perfectly good food into shit. And, the sad part about it is the shit that these losers take actually have more significance to our earth than they do, than their lives, than their existence. Because the shit actually vegetates the ground. It vegetates the soil. It fertilizes the soil. It actually brings in new life, new vegetation. What do these people do besides sit there and are detriments? These people are just sitting there eating food. It's, it ain't fair, baby. It ain't fair. You know what isn't fair? That I and other capitalists are being raped. We're being raped out of tax dollars so that we can support losers and bureaucrats. Especially bureaucrats. And it makes me sick to my stomach. So if you want to get involved with something, let me tell you something. CapitalistArmy.com, you can create your own store and sell your own products, all right? Integrate PayPal, integrate Check-to-Go, and you know what? Nobody collects anything. You collect all the profits. You want to know why? Because it's true Capitalist Army. It's at CapitalistArmy.com. Not to mention that if you write any blogs or any articles for CapitalistArmy.com, you can put your own banners. You can put your own pay-per-click banners, for Christ's sake. Just don't go crazy, ass clowns. But I'm all about making money, baby. That's what it's about. That's what it's about. It's not about, what the president's selling and what these liberals are selling. You know what they're selling you. You're selling you a little bit of this. Yeah. Junkyard America, baby. That's the new Democratic theme, baby. Yeah. Democratic win in Junkyard America, baby. Junkyard America, baby. Come on now. You know it, I know it, baby. Junkyard America, baby. Yeah, we want people to pivot on the government, baby. Yeah, bread line. Government cheese, yeah, Junkyard America, baby, Junkyard America. But that's what you're getting, man. That's what you're getting there. Anyway, 646-652-4869. Let's take some calls up in here. 404, you're on the air.
Ghost, what's going on, man?
Hey, it's Billy D. Williams, man. What's going on? Hey, man, cheers. What's going on with you, man?
Cheers. Good day in the markets. Had to give you a call, like you said, boozing it up a little bit. But
absolutely a good day in the markets, man, and we're continuing to see gains. I think maybe in the near short term we may see some retraction. But I think in the long term, man, I think stocks are going to do pretty well. I mean, I don't see another financial instrument that could be an alternative to what's going on right now. I mean, you've got the treasuries on the European scale, being almost reduced to junk bonds. You've got emerging markets out here dwindling because of the situation that's happening in the economic global situation out here, when we got the third largest economy in Japan literally being wiped off the economic map. I don't know if they're going to be able to come back, especially after all this radiation. So everybody's looking for security. Investors want stability, security, so they're coming to American equities. They're even coming to American treasuries, even though we're spending out of the wazoo. They're even buying government bonds. That just goes to show you how scared the world is. And in my view, for at least the long term, the next 2 or 3 years, it looks like everybody in the world, as far as investors are concerned, are going to come right here to America to hold their cash.
Nothing wrong with that. Hey, I mean, I got to say I loved it when, because I do have a pretty, I'm kind of long, it's obviously long term, but I loved it today when Obama came out and was going on and on about this whole solar and wind and all that energy, because I have a couple of stocks in my portfolio are focused in on wind and solar. So I think long term that's going to do nothing but help out, especially if he stays in there for another.
Well,
3 years.
What it's going to do is that if he can get these bills passed, because what he's doing is going to call for more subsidies to go to these industries, and if the subsidies go to those industries, that means that's instant capital. For some of these companies. I mean, instant capital. So that's why they go up in price. The problem is, as far as the energy policy is concerned, I think that wind and solar are not viable alternatives, especially for our high-demand electronic gadget society. I don't think it's a viable alternative whatsoever. But it is, if you happen to be living in the rural lands, if you happen to be living on, agricultural-based estate, I think that wind and solar are viable alternatives, but you cannot run the machines of production, which, use lots and lots of energy, fossil fuels. You cannot run these machines on solar and wind energy. And I know that the president wants to sit over here and make people believe that's possible. It's not.
No, and you're correct. And on top of it, it's also a very expensive industry to get into, because if you look at it without the heavy government subsidies that they already receive to build those types of facilities, it's nowhere close to what nuclear, natural gas, or a coal producing power plant would do. But
absolutely.
Anyways, one of the things I had to say though on that was, yes, we can, baby. Yes, we can. But
that's why I'm saying, look, as much as we can disagree politically, you got to be a capitalist about it and understand, hey, it is what it is, and we got to profit on it. I don't agree with solar and wind energy subsidies, but it's going to happen because, let's be honest, the masses of the American public are a bunch of idiots. They're not politically responsible, and they're just going to allow this government to do whatever it does anyway. So why not just go ahead and get some of these stocks and capitalize on some of these moves the government is making with our money, and that's why I'm always bullish on any of these stocks that have been bailed out by the government, because they're not going anywhere. They're literally not going anywhere.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, on another note, talking about Gaddafi and Obama, did you catch him saying the other night how he was saying that we had to go in and stop Gaddafi from killing his own people we had to stop him because he was stopping his people from speaking out. In other words, since he started telling his people, you can't speak out. If you speak out, we're going to kill you, or we're going to come after you.
Yeah.
Isn't that kind of what Obama? Just another contradiction here. Isn't that what Obama did back when healthcare reform came out, and you had some of these town hall meetings, and people were saying. Anyone who basically dissented against it, they came out with, be a good citizen. They came out with an informant list, so you could send in emails and help.
Let me tell you, these governments are so hypocritical. This is why us as capitalists, man, we have to take control. I know this sounds, a little radical to people, but I'm not. What I mean by take control, we don't necessarily have to go out and take up arms, or we don't have to do anything ridiculous. You know, what we have to do is utilize our economic power, because let me tell you, without capitalists, this government wouldn't be in existence. If all us capitalists were networked and the governments continue to overregulate us, to continue to be hypocritical, continue to overtaxate us and use that money to increase bureaucratic systems, then we should just take our money elsewhere. I mean, seriously. We should just take our money, sell our treasuries, sell American stocks, and just go somewhere else. And let me tell you something right now. When that happens, and if that happens, it would be so devastating to not just America, but any country that impedes upon capitalist interests, that it wouldn't be able to be possible. It would be a complete and utter devastation to any country that attempted to wave their finger at capitalists any longer. And let me tell you, this is what this bureaucrats, whether it's bureaucrats in your country of origin or these institutional international bureaucrats in the UN, these people want authority, they want power, and, it's up to us as capitalists to tame that power. Because these masses, let's be honest, these masses are a bunch of morons. We have to be able to separate ourselves from these people. And what I mean by that, I'm talking about people that just can't comprehend that we are in modern times. This is modernity. There is a civil way to live now. There's no reason to go out like some goddamn, freaked out Yehudi and start causing chaos and breaking, store windows and looting in the streets and raping women and doing all this crap that's happening in Egypt and elsewhere across the globe. What we could do is just utilize an actual ideology to implement ourselves as a new form of society that's going above and beyond primitive ideas that have done nothing for us in the past. And what idea that I am promoting and that I think that should be promoted on a global scale is capitalism. It's the purest form of separating the weak from the wise. And anybody who tries to argue for the weak, I posed the argument yesterday that it goes against the very idea of nature. I mean,
yeah.
I know I made light of it. I said, what if the spiders tried to do what people are doing for each other? There was a communist authority of spiders that got along. They had a meeting and said, hey, this is what we're doing. We're going to save every spider, even the chumps, even the ones that are too lazy to make their own webs, even the ones that are deficient, even the ones. We're going to make sure that we feed them all. If we got an extra bug on our web, we're going to feed them. I mean, if this happened in nature, there would be spiders we wouldn't be able to see anything else but spiders on top of each other. They would consume the vegetation. They would consume the entire ecosystems. And this is exactly what humanity's doing with these dumb political romantic ideas that every mouth deserves to be fed in this world. And let me tell you, what should separate those that should have and those that shouldn't? Capitalism. I mean, and it's not a violent form. You know what makes capitalism violent? The communists. The communists are the ones that become violent. The communists are the ones that shoot up, communist gatherings, and they're the ones who rob people. It's the They justify it because, I don't know no better, baby. I don't know no better. Nobody gave me nothing. Well, nobody gave me nothing. I'm sure nobody gave you nothing, Billy. I'm sure everybody who's listening out there, nobody gave anybody everything. On the contrary, capitalists know. We're the first ones to know that what people do is spit in your face. What people do is backstab you. What people do is try to screw you. We know this, but we deal with it and still capitalize. That's what separates us from everybody else.
Absolutely. Couldn't have said it better myself. Best way to say it.
I'm serious, man. I mean, it's time to get serious out here as capitalists, man. I mean, screw the politics. All right? I mean, unless the capitalists become the exclusive voter or the exclusive participants in the political process, we're going to continue to see these incompetent idiots do what they're doing. I mean, I'm going to say this. I'm going to continue to say it. The general public has no right to vote in the political process. I think that the prerequisite should be you should show a damn tax form that you filed showing that you actually paid into the government, showing that you're actually funding this system of government for you to participate in the political process. I don't see where that's inhumane. I don't see where that's anti-democratic. On the contrary, I think we're taking a page out of the old forefathers that all these people like to tout every time they tout freedom. Oh, George Washington, Thomas Jefferson. Yeah, well, they were smart men. They believed that, the American people, all of them shouldn't vote. Why don't you reread the Constitution? Not to mention, why don't you read into the reason why they made the Electoral College voting system? Because they knew that, let's be honest, most people are stupid.
Yep.
They knew it, I know it, and everybody should know it. Anyway, go ahead, Billy. Sorry, man.
No, you're right. I mean, that's the reason that they put in that stuff is because they knew the people were too much dumbasses to sit there and be able to elect the leader. Nowhere you always hear people say that fucking Puff Daddy or whatever asshole's name is saying vote or die and all that stuff. And then, show me their Diddy where it says that you have the right to vote for your president or right to elect your president. It doesn't. So, but anyways, I had to say one thing. I gotta say I'm a little pissed at you because you made me after talking about that Friday song.
Yeah.
I ended up watching that thing. Man, I wish I could have those 3 minutes back. Holy hell.
Yeah. Hey, man, we're going to talk about that later, man. Miley Cyrus basically, threw a verbal bitch slap at this little girl, Rebecca Black, about this Friday song. Apparently, Miley Cyrus is not too fond of, this new internet phenomena of praising, stupid songs or something. She took big offense to it, so we're going to talk about that later in the program, man. So I hear you. I don't like it, man. I think it's a dumb, stupid song, but look, this is the new world we're living in, where we're praising stupidity. I mean, just to show you how dumb we are and how much we praise stupidity. You know that new show on the History Channel, Pawn Stars? You know that new show? Anyway, they've got this fat loser piece of shaggy dog garbage named. They call him Chumlee, all right?
Yes.
The dumbest son of a bitch on the face of the planet, the dumbest idiot on the face of the planet. I mean, his parents should be pistol whipped for creating such a waste of human flesh, and yet he's the most favorite character. He's the most liked character from the fans of this show. Because, look, it's Chumlee. Look, and he's just a big goof. He's just a dope. It's this type of mentality that is screwing up America, right? I mean, us praising stupidity, we should be spitting on stupidity. We should be calling out people that are stupid. You know what I mean? We should be like, you're an idiot. You actually said that. You actually believe that. Get out of here. I mean, just chastising it. But no, we live in a stupid loser-ass America where we're praising stupidity, where it's like, look, at least he tried. Screw trying. Try again.
I bet you they keep them around on that show just because, like, when the camera's not on and everything, they can probably pay them and make them eat turds and stuff for $1 or something like that.
Of course. Anyway, that's the only reason why you have dumbasses like that around, man. Really, I mean, that's why people really, and unfortunately, dumbasses know. I mean, there's a whole dumbass community of people. Believe it or not, there's a community of these dumbasses that know that all they have to do is whatever somebody else says, and as long as they can do that, they can still continue to be supported. They can continue to have good meals, continue to have cash. And, a good example of that is Chumlee. Another good example of that is, back in that stupid show, Viva La Bam. Do you remember that stupid show?
Oh, unfortunately, yeah.
Yeah, man, that dumb Novak character that, this Bam Margera would literally kick in the balls at will, and he set his pants on fire while he was asleep, and, and the guy, he would just sit there and be like, man, stop, man, and don't do it, man. And that's it. I mean, because he knew that Bam would, hook him up with, food, a place to stay, and not to mention just kicking it with him, Novak would be able to get these stupid slutty bimbos that, he always bangs. So, I mean, I personally don't. I understand the idea of having a dumbass around, but I'm starting to realize that, it's starting to be a detriment to our society, man.
Yeah, I hear you, Gus. But anyway, man, I appreciate the time, and as always, it's a pleasure talking with you. Great show, man.
All right, no problem, Billy, man. Thanks for calling up, bro.
No problem, anytime. Take it easy. I'll talk to you later.
All right, take it easy, man. All right, that was Billy D. Williams, folks, and I want to hear from you, 646-652-4869. We're already 9 minutes into the second hour of the True Capitalist radio program. I am your host, the man they call Ghost, and once again, folks, I want to thank everybody for tuning in with me. If you could please retweet the broadcast blogtalkradio.com/ghost is the link to send people. We're sitting back, we're in effect, and we're in the house. Make sure to spread that link around like wildfire so we can see a whole gangload of people up in this joint. But anyway, 646-652-4869. We were talking a little bit about Muammar Gaddafi gaining on the rebels and basically overtaking strongholds that were once taken and held by the rebels. And now the rebels need more help. They need more airstrikes on Gaddafi. They need weapons. They need this and that. And we're actually talking about this. We're actually discussing this in Washington. And I'm completely against it. I mean, there is no proof that these forces that are in the rebel faction in eastern Libya are pro-democracy or pro-capitalism. There is no proof. I mean, are there any websites dedicated to this stuff? I mean, have you seen propaganda on the web saying, yeah, liberate Libya, pro-capitalism, pro-democracy? No, you haven't, all right? Absolutely not. Anyway, 646-652-4869 is the number to call here. I want to talk a little bit about what the president was talking about earlier. I know that Billy D. Williams was alluding to it, but the president laid out an energy plan that's supposed to be weaning us off foreign oil and, providing alternative energy sources. And, of course, Billy talked about it a little bit. He talked about how the president is trying to initiate more subsidies into the solar energy and wind energy concepts. As a matter of fact, he's talking a lot about, how we need to, think of alternative sources other than getting foreign oil. What really is disgusting to me is I know everybody knows my views on why we should just tell the Iraqi government to give us oil pro bono so they can pay us the $2 trillion we've spent liberating these people. But let's just exclude that. Let's pretend that doesn't exist, all right? Let's talk about another idea. Let's talk about drilling offshore. Now, I know everybody was pissed at BP. I was pissed at BP when it came to drilling offshore in the Gulf. But there are a lot of other places to drill. There's a lot of other technologies that can be used to drill, so on and so forth. But our president has this moratorium on not drilling offshore. As a matter of fact, he's only recently gave out a few contracts that allowed a certain group of drillers to take advantage of certain offshore rigs. All right? And in this energy speech that he gave earlier, I thought that Barack Obama was going to initiate some type of, I don't know, I thought he was going to get a little bullish on drilling, because he had to, amidst this nuclear radioactive fallout disaster that's happening in Japan, amidst the hike in oil prices, amidst all these things. You would have thought that Barack Obama would have said, we're going to start drilling. We need to get off foreign dependency of oil, and we should start producing our own oil. So that not only can we produce our own oil for our own people, but our country and companies can sell it on the world market, and they can make a profit. But we didn't hear anything of that nature. On the contrary, we heard more of the same, this whole concept of, clean energy, and solar energy, wind energy, same crap. More subsidies to the cronies that own these companies. That's what he was calling for. And you know what's really sick, folks? I mean, sit on your seat for this one, okay? You want to talk about hypocrisy of hypocrisy, okay? This is a man who's claiming we don't want to drill offshore because we don't want another disaster. We don't like the risk. We don't want to drill off of our beaches because we don't want another BP oil situation. I mean, these are the things that are being, indirectly underscored by initiating these clean energy technologies like supposed wind and solar. But you know what's really unfortunate? Is that that recently, when we initially started all this Libya bombing, remember, Barack Obama was in Brazil. Why was he in Brazil? Well, he was working on a free trade agreement with Brazil. And you know what a stipulation of that free trade agreement was? And hold on to your seats, folks. Hold on to your seats. He has dedicated billions of American taxpaying dollars so that Brazil can offshore drill off of its shoreline. Yeah. I'm not joking. He was in Brazil, and he negotiated to where tax dollars, billions of American tax dollars, are now going to Brazil so we can subsidize their offshore drilling, so they can sell their oil on the world market. I mean, what hypocrisy! I mean, can you spell the word hypocrisy and slap it again next to a picture of this president? I mean, here we are. We have oil potential reserves all across the country, all across our own nation. And yet he's sitting here saying to us that, oh, we just can't do it, and giving us every excuse in the book. Meanwhile, Americans right now are feeling it at the pocketbook, whether it's at the pump or paying high prices for commodities, paying high prices for products because the producers have to relay the shipping cost onto the consumer. I mean, hypocrisy. I mean, that's what he was in Brazil doing, man. Our tax dollars are now going to go to Brazil so that Brazil can build these offshore oil rigs. And do you think that Brazil's going to give us oil for free? No. They're going to sell it on the world market. You understand what I'm saying? They're going to sell it on the world market, subsidized with our tax dollars. This is the biggest form of hypocrisy that I've ever seen in my life. But what are the American people doing? Nothing. They're doing nothing. And I know there's a lot of capitalists out there that are working hard. You know, they're just trying to maintain their lifestyle. They're just trying to maintain their way of life. But it's time for capitalists to start on their off time to go out there and start implementing our authority. Now, how do you do this? Well, folks, I'm telling you, believe it or not, the internet. The internet. Start blogging. Start forum posting. Start chatting. Start relaying these ideas, folks. Believe it or not, these goofs actually read this stuff. Believe it or not, I mean, do you understand that 1 in 4, 1 in 5 relationships is made on the internet now? Did you know that Facebook is the leading cause of divorce? I mean, this is how integral the internet is in our lives at this point in time. So I'm calling on all true capitalists out there, join the capitalist army. CapitalistArmy.com. Start blogging. Start forum posting. Start amplifying the capitalist cause. Start understanding that, hey, we have to take a stand and we have to let our voices be known that we are going to make our authority felt throughout the globe because we're the ones that fund these governments. We're the ones that fund these so-called entitlements. We're the ones that fund these subsidies into wind power and solar power. We're the ones that fund these little free trade agreements. And yet it seems to me that the capitalist interest is continuously overlooked. Continuously. And that's all there is to it. CapitalistArmy.com. And let me tell you, you know, there's an option on there for you to start your own store so you can sell your own stuff. I mean, off of your profile. I mean, you can post classified ads. There's forum posts. There's video chat rooms. There's profiles. Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm even allowing people to post ads on their blogs, on their articles. Instant messaging. It's great. CapitalistArmy.com. I'm encouraging everybody out there to join. And of course, folks, if you're not a true capitalist, well, then you're not going to be accepted. Do you understand what I'm saying? I want true capitalism. This is a private, let me underscore that again, a private social network. And if we suspect that you're collecting any kind of government entitlements, if we suspect that you are not a true capitalist, well, then we don't want to have anything to do with your ass. All right, bottom line. 646-652-4869 is the number to call here. Anyway, we heard more of the same from Barack Obama. I was expecting him to say something, at least loosening up some of the stranglehold that he has off offshore drilling, because we need this energy, folks. Once again, I have been reiterating this point that sweet crude, WTI sweet crude, needs to go down in the $90 range for our economy to have an actual rebound. And we're still seeing WTI sweet crude at over $104 a barrel, which means that we're still seeing prices relayed to the consumer in shipping costs. We're seeing more people paying higher prices at the pump to fill up, and as a result, people aren't going out and buying food as much out in restaurants. They're not going out to shopping malls as much and that sort of thing. And I was expecting to hear Barack Obama to loosen up his stranglehold on drilling, and he did not. Yet, he gave billions, all right, of our tax dollars to Brazil recently when Barack Obama was visiting Brazil. The president gave billions of our tax dollars to Brazil so they can drill offshore. Yeah. Billions of our tax dollars so that they can build their own offshore drilling infrastructure. Can you believe this crap? The hypocrisy, for Christ's sake. But is anybody listening? Is anybody doing anything? No, absolutely not. Anyway, I'm going to move on to some other subject matter because, just talking about that makes me want to puke. Another thing that kind of makes me want to puke, all right? Oh, yeah, before I move on to the next subject matter, Obama claims that we're going to reduce oil imports by 1/3 by 2025. Did you people know that every president since Nixon has been claiming they're going to reduce oil by 1/3? Believe it or not, in 1973, Nixon promised this, saying, we're going to reduce foreign oil by 1/3, and I am not a crook. Jimmy Carter said it, Gerald Ford said it, Ronald Reagan said it, Bush Sr. said it, Bill Clinton said it, Bush Jr. said it, everybody said it. This is lip service, all right? So, whenever I hear some president saying, oh, we're going to reduce our foreign oil, bunch of garbage is what it is. Anyway, speaking of more bad news, Japan, folks, I know I keep reiterating that, plutonium and, radioactive smog continues to pour out into the atmosphere, and we're seeing radioactivity and traces of rain as far as Iceland, Massachusetts, all over America, for Christ's sake. But now, as I've said back when this whole radioactive debacle started beginning, what about the area around the radioactive reactors? What about the sea area? What about the ecosystems around there? Well, now they're admitting that, there's been some radioactive runoff into the sea, and they're trying to downplay this like they've been downplaying everything else, folks, but be careful with what you eat on that seafood now, man. I'm not trying to hyper-sensationalize everything, folks, but, plutonium is a little bit more of a harsher chemical than smoked out uranium. Smoked out uranium is not something that everybody should be inhaling in for an alternative to humidifiers or something. But at the same time, plutonium can kill people, within a couple of hours in mass amounts. Seriously. This is a highly volatile substance, plutonium. And it's actually not only getting into the air out there in Japan, and they're starting to see it in China and other places in the region, but it's in the sea at this point in time. And we're seeing that around the Pacific Ocean, around these reactors, that radioactivity is affecting, it is being detected, and what implications does this have for seafood, for Christ's sake? As far as I'm concerned, the next time I'm sitting down at a seafood restaurant, I want to make sure that crap was, fished off of the Atlantic or the Gulf Coast. I'm never, ever going to eat anything out of the Pacific Ocean, at least for the next 10 to 15 years. You know what I'm saying? I mean, no kidding. I mean, this is a joke. I mean, this is an utter joke, and I can't believe that the international community is just sitting by. I mean, you've got the United Nations acting on this Libya garbage. That we have to stop the people from slaughtering. Yeah, right. If you wanted to stop people from being slaughtered, you would have intervened in a whole bunch of scenarios. I don't know what Libya is. I don't really understand Libya. I think it was an exercise in bureaucratic power by these chicken hawks in Washington, these chicken hawks in the bureaucratic system of government. It makes no sense for us being there. It makes no sense for us even doing this as a multilateral international front. Haven't you noticed that the United Nations and the NATO, they don't want to have nothing to do with this Libyan situation anymore? Haven't you noticed that? They left Obama and Hillary Rotten Clinton, Susan Rice, and all these bimbos, they left them with their pricks in their hand. But they'll go and interfere in this Libyan situation, but they won't go and basically supersede the Japanese government and basically encapsulating this international disaster, because that's what this nuclear reactor runoff is. It's a international disaster, and nobody is really going up in arms about it. I'm really pissed that, I'm in Texas, and we're finding radioactivity out here, for Christ's sake. And now you got these idiots going out on the boob tube on the news channel saying, a little bit of radioactivity isn't that bad. You get radioactivity from your granite countertops. You get radioactivity when you travel in the plane. I mean, they're trying to justify being exposed to radioactivity. I mean, I don't think there's any justification for it. I mean, isn't that why we stopped giving X-rays so much? Remember, people have an X-ray for this, X-ray for that, and then they realize, well, maybe we shouldn't give people so many X-rays because exposing them to radioactivity. I mean, it's stupid, man. And that's why I'm saying the United Nations, if they wanted to prove their international legitimacy, this Japanese situation would be a perfect opportunity for the bureaucratic institutionalists to show their worth, to show that they're pertinent, to show that they're relevant. But, they're turning a blind eye to this nuclear fallout situation. And what have I been saying since the beginning? Since the beginning of this whole damn thing. And if you don't believe me, look in the archive. blogtalkradio.com/ghost. Look in the archive. I've been saying since the beginning that they should throw wet cement, mud, and encapsulate this whole damn reactor so that if there is any kind of a meltdown, if there is any kind of a seepage, it is encapsulated in this blob of cement and blob of wet mud, and it'll be segregated to that particular portion of the country. But no, I don't know what the Japanese government's doing. I don't know what this company that owns this reactor is doing. These people are giving us, double talk. I don't think they know what they're doing. I was calling for robots being put in this little debacle since the whole thing began, and now yesterday, they realized, oh, yeah, we can use robots. I mean, this is just an utter disgrace. This just goes to show you that these institutionalists and these bureaucrats just cannot be trusted. And if anything like this ever happened to us in America, we better act by ourselves. We better start doing our own thinking and not be dependent on these governments, because they ain't going to tell us a goddamn thing. All right? Bottom line. I mean, I don't want to eat fish anymore, for Christ's sake, man. I mean, what if I get a Pacific red snapper, and before you know it, I go to sleep, I start glowing at night? Do you understand what I'm saying? What if I start eating, some sick-ass salmon out of the Pacific or something, and, start eating it, for Christ's sake, and start growing a third eye on my forehead, for Christ's sake? I mean, growing a third arm or something. Unbelievable. Anyway, 646-652-4869. I mean, does this concern you? On top of the fact that we have radioactivity in the air, and who the hell knows what the long-term implications for that is, and we're detecting it in rainwater all over the world, now we have to worry about radioactive seafood. Yeah, radioactive seafood from the Pacific. Thanks, Japan. I mean, Japan, $11 trillion in debt. What did y'all spend it on if you can't stop this nuclear disaster. I mean, what was all that technology spent on? Japan? I mean, look, I feel sorry for the people that are just there. I mean, they are the ones suffering. I mean, you want to talk about, people being slaughtered? I mean, Obama was talking about, we had to go into Libya because we couldn't watch people be slaughtered. We couldn't watch people be slaughtered. Hey, Japan is killing their own people the more and more time they waste and allow these plutonium and radioactive material to be in the air, in the seawater. I mean, these people are not only going to kill their own people, they're going to start killing people around the world, for Christ's sake. I mean, Jesus Christ. I mean, it just makes me sick. It really does make me sick, man. I'm not joking. I don't understand why it doesn't make anybody else sick. You know? But no, everything's okay, right, Ghost? Ghost, no, you're just making a mountain out of a molehill. All right, you're making too much of it, Ghost. Don't worry about it. Everything will be all right. All right? Jesus Christ. I mean, I'm serious, man. It seems like every day more bad news, and it seems like our governments want it to be this way. You understand? I'm serious. I mean, it seems like our governments want to make us this way. They just want us all destable. They want to expose us to all this. I don't know. I mean, I'm just asking, man. I mean, isn't a simple solution for this radioactivity to do what we did in Chernobyl? You know? I mean, isn't this a simple idea, just dumping cement and dumping mud on these reactors, and if they happen to have a meltdown, they're melted down in these encapsulated domes of cement and mud? I mean, well, what's the problem? I mean, good God, man. I mean, what's the purpose of the IAEA? What's the purpose of the United Nations? What's the purpose of all these bureaucratic international institutions if they're not going to do a damn thing when they got to do their damn jobs? It makes no sense. That's why I'm sick of the United Nations and all these bureaucratic governments that are justifying their increase in bureaucratic power. We, as capitalists, should be very apprehensive. You understand? And it makes me sick to my stomach that we're sitting here and just, watching this happen. That's why I'm calling on all of you out there. Join the capitalist army out here and start blogging. You know what I'm saying? Start letting it be known what the hell's going on out here, and that us as capitalists, we want to separate ourselves from those that are worried about the American Idol winner, that are more worried about the Dancing with the Stars person. We're concerned about life. You understand? We're concerned about what's going on in the future. We're concerned about what's going to happen to us. That's why us capitalists have to separate ourselves from the masses. Because I don't know about you guys, but I mean, I want to live, you understand? And not only do I want to live large. I want to live nice. I want to be able to do what I want to do. You understand? I want the opportunity to be able to get money and to be able to parlay it and make more money. I want that idea. But no, all this is being jeopardized because of all the incompetence from this government and other governments abroad. Seriously, man, I'm not joking. I mean, now I'm going to have to ask every seafood, you understand? Every seafood place, is this from the Pacific Ocean? Because I'm not eating anything from the Pacific Ocean anymore. I'm telling you this right now. I mean, next thing you know, I'm growing a second head off my shoulder or something because I'm eating radioactive lobster tail or something. I mean, I'm serious. I'm not joking. Anyway, 646-652-4869. This is just a disgrace. And of course the American people and the people across the world, they're not really doing much. And the people that are doing something, they're going berserk. I mean, like the Middle East, I mean, they're going nuts. It's not even a legitimate revolution. I mean, don't people realize that for a revolution to succeed, you have to have an ideological principle that everybody falls in line with? That's what made communism so initially successful in the Third World, even though communism wasn't written for the Third World. But that's what made it, so powerful, was the fact that these people fell in line with this ideology and they were willing to die for it, and everybody obliged it. But when you have a bunch of jihadis out there in the Middle East just going off and, doing doing all this crap, man. I mean, it makes no sense. I don't see any end in sight to this chaos, and I don't want chaos. Yeah, man. Anyway, 646-652-4869 here. I mean, the world's going to hell, man. It looks like the world's going to hell. You know what I mean? I mean, I can hear those hell's bells right now. I mean, just hold on. I mean, can you hear these hell's bells in the background? I mean, do you hear them? Do you hear them? I mean, I hear them. Do you hear them? They are. I'm hearing them. It's all these damn governments. They're ringing the bells of hell. They're going to do what they want, and they don't care. That's why I'm calling on you to join the capitalist army. CapitalistArmy.com. CapitalistArmy.com. Are you just going to sit there and watch him ring? Are you going to stand up? Are you going to do something? Are you going to let your voice be heard? CapitalistArmy.com.
You're listening to Ghost on True Capitalist Radio. True Capitalist Radio.
Yeah, that was a little bit of AC/DC, yeah? I mean, that's what the kids are bubbling in on their little standardized texting, yeah? AC/DC, AC/DC. Yeah, anyway, that was a little bit of hell's bells. And the reason I said that is because, look around you, folks. A lot of disasters, a lot of devastation out here, and it seems like the government could care less about it. Once again, folks, us as capitalists, we have to separate ourselves from those that are out there utilizing bureaucratic institutions to assert their will on people. And this is why capitalists have to separate themselves from the general masses. We're the ones that fund the governments. We're the ones that fund the bureaucrats. And there should be no reason why these bureaucrats wave their finger at us, over-regulate us, over-taxate us, because we're the ones that pay their bills. And, and this goes out to the people in Japan right now. If you happen to be there living in fear, not knowing what's going to happen, what you need to realize is you need to start raise up. You need to come on and raise up. Because you cannot allow this government to continue to lie to you when you are being exposed to radioactive debris, radioactive material, radioactive smog, plutonium. I mean, you can't just sit there and be docile. I mean, I'm not saying go out there and start looting, but what do you have to lose if you're being exposed to, plutonium, radioactive material? I mean, what do you really have to lose, for Christ's sake? I mean, there's a lot of capitalists out there in Japan. I'm getting a lot of letters from Japan, and they're scared, for Christ's sake. They don't know what the hell to do. They're listening to the broadcast via podcast, and they don't know what the hell to do out there. And these are educated people. These are capitalists. These are people that appreciate the American way of life. It's sad, man. I mean, my prayers and thoughts go out to the true capitalists in Japan, man. I mean, it's sad what this government and what the Japanese government and what the damn Japanese electric companies are doing. It's a disgrace. And yet the United Nations are more worried about Libya and Muammar Gaddafi, some Michael Jackson lookalike in the middle of the desert living in some tent or probably staying in some spider hole right now. And yet we've got millions upon millions of people in Japan, could be potentially exposed to radioactive material. Not potentially, they are being exposed. It's in their water. It's in their food. Horrible. Anyway, folks, I want to talk a little bit about the government shutdown that could happen. It's going to be next Friday. Next Friday is when the government shutdown is going to happen if there's not any kind of budget passed in the House and Senate by next Friday. Now, remember, all right? Remember that we are, hey, see you later, capitalism, and I hope that everything's okay down there in Florida. I know you're going through a bad storm out there. This government has not come up with a fiscal budget for 2011 thus far, at all. At all. Not one fiscal budget for 2011. On the contrary, all we have done is put extension after extension after extension. I think this is like the third extension for fiscal budget 2011. I mean, it's going to be April. I mean, we're almost halfway done through the springtime, for Christ's sake, and these bureaucrats haven't figured out what exactly we're going to spend for the year as a government, for Christ's sake. Now, what could potentially happen if they don't come up with a budget is the government will literally shut down, I mean, the government is just going to continue. It's going to shut down. What that means is that all the government bureaucratic systems all over the nation, all the federal buildings, they're not going to go to work because no one's going to be paid. It's just going to be a government shutdown, not to mention that our credit rating throughout the world would go down dramatically, and our interest rates would go up. I mean, it's just a disaster. A disaster could happen. Now, I know these teabaggers are trying to say, hey, we're going to shut the government down and we don't have cuts, and we've got Democrats wanting to put so much spending that somebody somewhere is going to get some more money. I mean, it's just a disgrace, man. It's an utter disgrace. Now, I'm going to be completely honest with you. I mean, I'm a little bit on both sides because I understand that we need cuts. We do need cuts. But I also understand that we cannot just sit here and, just start chopping at will. Because look at what they're doing on the state level out there in Wisconsin, Ohio, to the teachers, for Christ's sake. You understand? They're trying to squeeze out, education, because believe it or not, this new Obamacare, this Medicaid, Medicare initiative that's being pushed forth now because Obamacare is inactive, it's draining the states of income. I mean, it's literally over half of most government's budgets throughout the nation here. More than half their budgets are Medicaid, Medicare expenditures. So where are they going to cut? They got to cut in education. And look at what these teachers are doing. These are supposed to be the educators of the world. These are supposed to be the educators of our children. And look at how much jackasses they're making of themselves out here protesting, going on strike, making kids have days off from school so they can protest in the middle of the damn Capitol buildings and, bum rushing Capitol buildings, threatening politicians. And these are teachers. These are teachers, for Christ's sake. Just imagine, if you will, the Poe in America getting cut their government cheese and their housing voucher. And, I mean, everything, just start cutting. I mean, if the teachers are acting like this, just imagine what the Poe in America would be acting like, for Christ's sake. I mean, I don't even want to know. I mean, it'd probably look like Egypt, probably worse. And remember, I don't want chaos, for Christ's sake. So I understand both sides, that you can't just cut because, man, you'll cause a whole bunch of morons that expect to be paid, go into chaos. No, what do? In my personal opinion, we have to make legitimate cuts that aren't going to be felt initially. And through incremental fashion, you have to start cutting away these entitlements. This includes Social Security. This includes Medicaid, Medicare. This includes all those government entitlements and government cheese. This includes corporate welfare, too, folks. This includes all these subsidies going to these corporations. This includes all this stuff. And pork barrel spending. These damn politicians, setting aside millions of dollars so they can make buildings in their name. Yeah, that's what they do with these pork barrel spending. You've heard that terminology, pork barrel. They add on to a bill so that their state can get more money. Oh, yeah, politicians love talking about, I got my state, 10 million, 2 billion, 10 billion. They like to talk about how much they got their state. But in actuality, these bureaucrats, what they do is they allocate money so that they can, build buildings for themselves and name post offices after themselves and things of that. I'm not kidding. Just look at that asshole in West Virginia, that old windbag bird, all right? The bird, what I'm talking about, that bird guy, that old ex-Ku Klux Klan asshole who's a Democrat now. Take a look at how many things in that state have his name on it, and you'll be sick. You'll be sick to your stomach. And he funded that crap. Oscar Talks says in the chat room, slash the parasitic public sector. You're goddamn right, slash the public sector. But of course, Oscar, look at what they're doing now. Look at what these teachers, these are supposed to be educators. They're supposed to know about fiscal responsibility. If anybody should know about fiscal responsibility, it should be the teachers, and yet they don't care. You understand? They don't care. And if the teachers are acting this way, just imagine when you start cutting in other public sector arenas like administration, city administration, state administration. You start cutting bureaucratic wings of certain bureaucracies. These idiots are all going to do the same thing, man. It's sick, man. It really is sick. This is why I don't care about bureaucrats. I don't care about the Poe in America, because all these people are mooching off of taxpayers, off of anybody who's working for anything in their life. I mean, if you're a hard-working person, I mean, it's got to piss you off that you got to pay all these freaking taxes so that these scumbags can continue to sustain themselves. I mean, it makes me upset, too. But once again, I mean, you look at the reaction of what the teachers are doing. Just imagine when they start cutting all this other nonsense. I mean, it's just unbelievable proposition. And yet, none of these politicians want to talk about cutting any of their pork barrel projects, for Christ's sake. You know, I mean, we heard Harry Reid take time off of the Senate floor in debating this stupid, dumbass budget. He actually took time to talk about cowboy poetry in the last session that they had when discussing the budget of 2011. I kid you not. Listen, one more time for all you people that don't remember.
The National Endowment of Humanities is the reason we have in Northern Nevada every January a Cowboy Poetry Festival. Had that program not been around, the tens of thousands of people who come there every year would not exist.
I mean, this idiot is actually justifying the expenditure of pork barrel spending. I mean, did you hear how he talked about cowboy poetry like he's saving cancer kids, like he's feeding the poor in America, he's donating tremendous amounts of money to the Make-A-Wish Foundation. I mean, do you hear this guy? Oh, man, if it hadn't have been for this pork barrel project that I ripped off of the American taxpayer, we wouldn't have had cowboy poetry. And down there in Nevada, we get a whole bunch of, Brokeback Mountain cowboys, and they go out there, read poetry to each other, and chew each other up the bacon bed-ridden poop chute. Yeah, that's what we do down there, thanks to cowboy poetry. I mean, it's just a disgrace. And this is what they're debating right now. This is what they've been debating, folks. Why do you think we haven't passed the budget for 2011? This is the kind of crap they're wasting time. They're wasting time on. I'm kidding you not. This is the kind of garbage they're talking about right now. This is what they can't agree on. This is why we can't have a fiscal budget. This is why next Friday we could have a government shutdown. We already heard Chuck Schumer today. If you haven't heard it, folks, there was a secret conversation that was recorded in a conference call to Chuck Schumer and individuals that happen to be, a part of the some Democratic caucus, one of these little cheerleaders of the Democratic Party. He was on this conference call basically stating in indirect terms that they want a government shutdown. Yeah. I mean, Chuck Schumer is caught saying in this conference call that, yeah, we want a government shutdown because it would make us look good. It would make us, the Democrats, look good. And in that same phone call, he talks about how he promised the caucuses to make sure to describe anything related to the Tea Party or Republicans as extreme. It's an unbelievable phone call, folks. You should go out. I tried to download it, but conveniently enough, somebody put some kind of encryption on it, so I couldn't download it and play it. Believe it or not. I mean, how convenient. I mean, it's not the first time Chuck kicked the American people in the balls. Schumer, has done this to the American people. And, doesn't want people to know about his disgusting, deceitful ways. But these Democrats actually want a shutdown, folks. They're playing politics with our economy. They're playing politics with us as the American people, and we shouldn't be standing for this. I mean, I thought that this Democratic Party, Obama, was going to bring in change, not leave change in your pocket at the end of everything else. I mean, it's just a disgrace. It really is. It really is. And then next Friday, we may have a government shutdown because right now our politicians are discussing what pork barrel projects they want cut, what can't be cut. It's a disgrace, man. Good God. This is why I say that not every American should have the right to vote. I mean, the right to vote should be exclusive with the capitalist, bottom line. And that's why us as capitalists, we have to communicate with one another. We have to spread the word. We have to spread the message, for Christ's sake. That's why I have built the CapitalistArmy.com. All right? CapitalistArmy.com. Let me put that in the damn chat room, for Christ's sake. Because I think that we have to communicate with one another across the world, exchange ideas, understand that we can no longer sit back in the background. I mean, we can't. We can no longer sit back in the background and watch our countries fall from within because of incompetence in the political circles. We just can't do it. So that's why I'm calling on you, all right? I'm calling on you to join the CapitalistArmy.com. CapitalistArmy.com, right there. And let me tell you, it is an exclusive social network exclusively for capitalists. So if you're one of these idiots that are collecting off the government dole, if you're one of these assholes that are a part of the problem, we don't want you. We don't need you. You understand? We don't need you and we don't want you. So anyway, I mean, I want to hear from you folks. 646-652-4869. I mean, doesn't this piss you off that here you are, you're waiting for this government to, justify its legitimacy, and they just continue to, give you a smack to the mouth like you're Ike Turner, taking one from, or you're Tina Turner taking one from Ike, I should say. Jesus Christ. I mean, seriously, man, come on. Good God. It's sad, man. It really is sad, for Christ's sake. Anyway, I know that's, depressing for folks. I know that they're upset that their government is out there talking about cowboy poetry in the middle of the Senate when they should be attempting to pass a fiscal budget for 2011 instead of passing all the goddamn extensions. But I want to talk a little bit about, this radioactive stuff in the air once again, because we did have reports from China that they're actually seeing these types of elements in their atmosphere, in their air, and they're a little concerned about it, China. And as a matter of fact, the reason that they're concerned about it is because, let's be honest, the Japanese and the Chinese just do not like each other. A lot of wars, a lot of bad blood going on in there, and since we have been talking about the Japanese nuclear fallout, we've been getting contacted by the Chinese Communist government and how they want time on this program to discuss their views on what's going on out there. So we actually have a representative on the line now from the Chinese the Chinese Communist government. They think they're capitalist, but they're communist. And they want to discuss a little bit and give their views on the situation of nuclear fallout happening in Japan. So without any further ado, Mr. Fortune Cookie, are you there, sir? Oh.
You see, you motherfucker out there in Japan, you stick a radioactivity in the air out here in China. And we don't like the radioactivity in the air in China because we do everything to our own people ourselves. We put radio-industrial runoff ourselves in our own drinking water, motherfucker. We don't need Japanese people. We don't need the Japanese people sitting here sending radioactivity to the Chinese people. Motherfucker. And we don't appreciate Japanese people not doing nothing about the radioactivity going up in the air. We appreciate none of that, motherfucker. So Japan better watch their asshole. They better watch their asshole, because let me tell you something right now, motherfucker. If you Japanese people don't do something about this radioactivity in the air, we're going to stick a chopstick up your asshole. We're going to stick a Ginsu knife up your asshole if you don't take care of the radioactivity in the air. That's right. So all you stupid motherfucker that sit here talk garbage about the communist government in China, we put in Japanese government on notice, motherfucker. Clean up the air, or we stick Ginsu knife up your asshole. And we're gonna do this for Chairman Mao. That's why we're going to do it. We're gonna do it for Chairman Mao. We do it for Chairman Mao. I got nothing else to say. I am Mr. Fortune Cookie. Thank you very much.
All right, get him off. Get him off. Well, there you have it, folks. I mean, the Chinese are a little upset, I mean, they sound like they've had a bad egg roll when discussing this radioactive material that's being put into the atmosphere because they're really close to the country of Japan. And a lot of this radioactivity is going into the air, and as you can see, they're a little upset about it. But what the Chinese government should be a little concerned with is the Jasmine Revolution that they haven't been able to quash, Anyway, we are in the third hour of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. I am your host, the man they call Ghost. And once again, folks, I want to thank everybody for tuning in with me. Please, if you're listening live right now, All right, if you're listening live right now, please retweet the broadcast and spread it around like wildfire. Let everybody know that True Capitalist Radio is in effect and in the house. blogtalkradio.com/ghost is the link to send them. Tell them to come kick back with us, chat with us, chill with us, call us, and all that good stuff, folks. blogtalkradio.com/ghost. We're in the third hour already, baby. Woo! Anyway, let me go ahead and talk a little bit about this family that's trying to sue Facebook over a picture of their daughter who died in a horrific murder scene. For those of you that don't know what I'm talking about, and let me tell you, I'm no fan of Facebook. I think Facebook's a piece of crap, all right? I hate Facebook. I spit on Facebook. They're not only making psychographics and demographics out of their users, but they're actually going to sell their users information, not just the information that they accumulate on their website, but they have already stated that they are going to sell phone numbers and addresses as well as names and psychographics and demographic information about their users. So, I am no fan of this, all right? Yeah, and as a matter of fact, you're not going to get any of that in the capitalist army, all right? I'm not out here trying to collect psychographics and demographics and all this other stuff. What I'm trying to do is bring capitalists together so that we can exchange ideas, so that we can spread the message and act in concert if necessary. So let me make that preamble abundantly clear that I am not a fan of Facebook. As a matter of fact, I strongly urge people to delete their Facebook accounts because Facebook is one of the most disgusting forms of life on the face of the planet, if you want my personal opinion, all right? But I have to come to Facebook's defense when it comes to this particular case that's being pursued in the legal system out of Staten Island, New York, okay? Now, the family of Caroline Wimmer, who was a 26-year-old woman who was found by her parents after she was strangled by a hairdryer cord in March of 2009. Now, the reason that they're suing Facebook is because the paramedic at the time, the paramedic actually, took out his phone or, took out some kind of recording device, allegedly, and actually took a photo of this poor woman's dead corpse being, strangled with a dryer cord around her throat. And this asshole paramedic, Mark Musarella? Mark Musarella. He photographed the daughter's corpse and then posted the image on Facebook. You couldn't get any more stupider than this, for Christ's sake. But he actually posted the dead corpse on Facebook. And, of course, the family, had Facebook take it down. The family apparently prosecuted Mark Musarella because he pleaded guilty to photographing their daughter's corpse and posting the image. So he is pled guilty on stuff. But now the family is going up a step further, not just going after the asshole paramedic that, photographed their dead daughter's corpse and posting it on Facebook. Now the daughter's parents are actually going after Facebook, all right? And not only are they going after Facebook, they're trying to get the court system to prosecute everybody who downloaded that image from Facebook. I kid you not. This is actually going on in court right now. All right, now this has very scary implications for internet privacy. Now I mean my heart goes out to the family. I mean I was sad that their daughter's corpse was photographed by some nefarious paramedic and he posted it on Facebook. But now the man's being prosecuted. Facebook has taken down the image. Why are they going after Facebook? Well, it's one thing to go after Facebook legally, but this is a little bit of a different story. They don't just want money. These people want to be able to pursue anybody who downloaded the photograph. They actually want to legally pursue people that are, that actually downloaded the photograph. Now, I mean, good God, I mean, now you're being prosecuted because some schmuck posted a photograph of a dead body, and everybody loves disaster porn, all right? I mean, everybody knows that, why do you think that those tsunami pictures of Japan were up on front page news websites for like 3 or 4 weeks? They're still up there, for Christ. I mean, you want to know why? Because we love disaster porn. We like this kind of crap. We're sick. We're sick people. All right? And now this family actually has the audacity to want to, pursue, criminal charges or try to identify individuals that actually downloaded this image that this paramedic was the one that posted. I mean, it's just disgraceful, man. I mean, it's serious. It's just disgraceful. I'm no fan of Facebook, believe me. I think Facebook is a disgusting company that is, they've made it abundantly clear that they are selling your information to the highest bidder. They have made it abundantly clear that they are going to put an address and a phone number to your profile and sell it to whoever wants to buy it. All right? I mean, they've made it abundantly clear. But I'm against that. That's why I don't like Facebook. That's why I don't have a Facebook account. I think it's a disgrace that anybody who's participating in this social networking site doesn't understand the implications of what Facebook is trying to do. They're trying to take your information and gather up all the likes that you throw up, thumbs up to, all the things that you post on your blog post, all the things, all the companies that you like to friend or you like to post on their little Facebook sites. They're taking all this information, making a damn a psycho and demographic profile out of yourself, and they are going to sell that with your address and phone number to the highest bidder. This is not a joke. You can look this up for yourself if you think I'm lying. But when it comes to this situation here with the family of some, and I feel bad for the family, okay? I mean, hey, they found their daughter, 26 years old. She was strangled with a hairdryer. Some nefarious, disgusting paramedic, Mark Musarella, he's already pled guilty. He photographed the corpse and posted it on Facebook. It's a disgusting case. I understand it. But to sit here and think that you have the authority to identify and pursue any kind of legal action to those that actually viewed the picture is just a scary implication altogether. I mean, what do you think about this? I mean, isn't this jeopardizing our internet freedom here, our internet privacy, for Christ's sake? If somebody, takes some bad picture and, us as content gatherers, us as internet users, we don't know where these pictures are coming from. You know what I'm saying? We don't know if some dead corpse that we're looking at on Facebook is coming from some illegal activity. We don't know this. And this family, with all due respect, I mean, maybe you should just cut your losses and just realize, hey, this was just a bad deal. I mean, this paramedic was a scumbag, and he's being prosecuted for it. All right? I mean, to sit here and say, oh, we want to go after and identify everybody who saw my daughter's corpse, we're going after you. It's just a disgrace. It really is a disgrace. It's one thing to sue Facebook for punitive damages. It's another thing to sit here and try to order them to give you information on individuals that happen to have seen this. I mean, what if this idiot, what if this idiot decided to go, and private message all the people on his friends list and say, hey, y'all want to see a dead body? Y'all want to see a dead body? And, everybody just clicks the link and, they, unbeknownst to them, they clicked on an illegal image. I mean, it's stupid. It's really stupid, man, and I hope that nothing really comes of this. I hope that the parents are unsuccessful when it comes to identifying any individuals that happen to have posted the damn or looked at the damn picture. Now, if they post the picture, if they download it and then post it, well, that's a different story. That's a different case altogether. But that's not the implication being wanted here by the parents of these attorney, of the attorney of these parents. They want to identify those that actually looked at the image that Mark Musarella posted on Facebook. And they want Facebook to give them the information. So, good God, man. I mean, this is just getting more stupid and more stupid. I mean, at the very minimum, all right, it's bad enough that our rights are being taken away in reality, Our rights are being stripped of. I mean, we can't even go on a plane without being anal probed by some redneck or some ethnic minority, or being, exposed. Our Johnson and our privates being exposed through X-ray vision cameras. But now they're trying to, throw some kind of, authoritarian situation on the internet. I mean, don't people realize the internet is our last form of true freedom? It's the last form of true freedom. I mean, they start regulating this. What else do we have? They start regulating what we say, what we do, how we act. They start doing this on the internet. Then what? What's the future of the internet at that point? I don't like to even think about that. I mean, the internet should be free, for Christ's sake. It should be free for anyone to voice their opinion. I mean, it should be the vehicle for those that can't voice their opinion in their country because of oppressive governments. It should be the vehicle for them to do so. Unbelievable. It's really unbelievable. And let me tell you, once again, the Wimmer family, I'm sorry for your loss. It's unfortunate, but look, for you to sit over here and act as if you're Big Brother, and you want the identification of people that viewed your daughter's death picture, is just one of the most unbelievable things I've ever heard in my life. And everybody watch this case, because if anything does come about, I think that's the end of internet privacy as we know it. You understand? End of internet privacy as we know it. Because we don't need a legal precedent set to where, if somebody posts something that, we can't do this. We can't. Unless it's child porn, with the exception of child pornography, which, hey, if you're caught viewing child porn, man, that's your problem. I have no sympathy for you. I have no sympathy for you there, bub. But, let's say you're just, one of these, disaster porn assholes that likes to look at all this devastation and death. I mean, there's a lot of people that like this crap, And you just stumble across this picture because, people are passing along on Facebook. Now your identity is in jeopardy because the family wants to prosecute those that even viewed their daughter's death picture. Unbelievable. And they want Facebook to give them the identities of these people, too. That's Jesus Christ. I'm serious. I mean, this is a serious implication on internet privacy, folks. And, anybody who loves the internet should be very concerned about this. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, not to mention that, the capitalist army ain't Facebook. All right? CapitalistArmy.com is not Facebook. We're not out here trying to make psycho and demographics on people. You understand? I mean, we try to offer a limited amount of information. We try to take in a limited amount of information on people. The whole purpose of the social networking site is to bring capitalists together to communicate, to exchange ideas, and if necessary, act in concert if our interests are oppressed in any way or fashion. All right? CapitalistArmy.com. All right? Goofy Bone is asking, what happens to the people that looked at this picture? I don't know. I don't know what the hell's going to happen. That's the question. They just want the identities, and the people are just going to try to pursue some type of a case on these people. And I don't know if it's going to be criminal or legal, but it could be both. They could legally sue people, for I don't know under what legal grounds, but believe me, these scumbag lawyers will be, think of something. You know what I mean? Seriously. Anyway, 646-652-4869 is the number to call here. I've been sipping on this Crown and Coke. Cheers to everybody out there who's listening in. And I know that this is a scary subject matter for the internet, but let's talk a little bit something on a lighthearted note about the internet. We all know Rebecca Black, don't we? Oh, it's Friday, baby. I love the Friday. We all know Rebecca Black, all right? And if you don't, well, then obviously you're not on the internet much. But anybody who knows that, anybody who's on the internet for more than like an hour a day knows who this bimbo is. All right. Well, I shouldn't call her a bimbo. She's a young girl, but you know what I'm saying. All right. You get it. Well, anyway, Miley Cyrus, old Hannah Montana over here, had some ill words to say about Rebecca Black. She didn't really like the fact that Rebecca Black over here is, so popular. Given the fact that, she's just some kind of YouTube, hit sensation. And it's not even the fact that people like the song Friday. It's just the fact that, people like to hate it. And Hannah Montana doesn't like the fact, or Miley Cyrus, I'm going to quote here, she just thinks that, hold on, I'm going to try to get a quote from Hannah Montana. She's just going off Keister in some of these quotes. But she said that it should be harder to be an artist, according to Miley Cyrus. You shouldn't just be able to put a song on YouTube and go on tour. And this is her quote, okay? All right? It should be harder to be an artist. You should not be able to just put a song on YouTube and go on tour. Well, why not? Why not? I mean, if she can do that, she can do that, Hannah. I mean, you had a leg up. I mean, you had your goddamn father sit here and grease the palms of people at Disney. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you had an easy way to the top. What's your easy way to the top? Any different from this little young lady's way to the top? I mean, I hate the song. I think the song is stupid, pathetic, but hey, she's getting the hits. She's producing the hittage. So, what can you say? If she can make money off this crap, so be it. I mean, do you understand that the reason that, Miley Cyrus and all these other artists that have made millions off of these albums out here, the reason they're so pissed is because they're going to have to work harder now. And they don't like the fact that they have to work harder. They have to be more creative. They can't just fart on a snare drum, put it on a CD, and you idiots actually go buy it. Y'all are a little smarter than that. The internet has expanded the horizons of people's musical tastes because people actually sell music on the internet for cheaper prices than you can get it on the album, or they're actually giving it out for free. And what's really unfortunate is that you have Miley Cyrus in this statement, demanding a monopolization of creativity, because that's exactly what these record industries have had for the past 150 years, or when there was the first phonograph record. These record companies have had a monopoly on creativity. This is why we were exposed to one good song back in the day. One good song would come out, you go buy the album, and the rest of it sucks. You pay $15 for one song on an album. That's why people made so much money in the recording industry. Now you actually have to be good. Now you actually have to have appeal. You understand? Now you actually have to have appeal to actually sell albums. You actually have to have people like your ass, because it's so easy, to not like you. I mean, if you're not producing good content, no one's going to like your ass. So, piss off. Miley Cyrus, you're getting old. You're probably pissed off that you don't have the monopolization of these little girls anymore. You understand? She's pissed off. She's probably not making as much money. She sees this little girl, play a song, and she's like, oh, it's not fair. It's not fair. You shouldn't be able to be an artist like that. It's not fair. Wah, wah. Well, you know what, Miley Cyrus? It's not fair how you came about either, all right? Miley and your stupid, dumbass, drunkard father and that whore mother you've got, Miley Cyrus. I mean, give me a break. I mean, you have the audacity to sit over here and criticize Rebecca Black. And let me tell you, I'm no fan of this, little girl either. I think she's an idiot. But, hey, she's making money. She's a capitalist. What the hell? But to sit over here and justify the monopolization of creativity is just a disgrace, Miley. I mean, if there was a monopolization, you would have never have been able to be put in the position that you're in. You understand? The only reason that you were put in the position is because someone in the recording industry owed Billy Ray Cyrus one. Because let's be honest, what the hell did Billy Ray Cyrus really make except "Don't Bell a Heart, my reggae hard, and hey ho ho hey hey ho ho ho, and if you hug my cock, I'd hate no hawk, I'd hate no hold on hate no ho." I mean, give me a break. I mean, that's the only song he made. Somebody owed him something for that. He got put in a position, he put his daughter on TV, and the rest is history. And now, you know what? I mean, I just can't believe Miley Cyrus. Like, she really has talent or something. You have no talent. That's why when you changed your name to your real name, all the girls were like, what? This is really Hannah Montana, this stupid skankosaurus? This bimbo that's getting on an ice cream little truck with a pole dance on it? I mean, this skankosaurus slutbag that's out here, you know, smoking salvia at 17 years old? This disgusting-looking bimbo is our role model? Absolutely not. I mean, let me tell you, this is why Hannah Montana is so pissed off. This is why Miley Cyrus is like, it's not fair. I want the monopolization of creativity. I want the big boys to make sure that individuals like this can't make money off of music. It's not fair. Man, I'd like to pop Miley Cyrus right in her stupid, snot-nosed, little spoiled brat mouth. You know what I'm saying? I'd like to pop that little snot-nosed little bitch in her mouth. Are you kidding me? I mean, because she's not making the big bucks she's used to, and she's seeing some little girl put out some album. I mean, look, let's be honest. I mean, this little girl, Rebecca Black, I mean, she's a part of this goddamn American Idol generation. Everybody wants to be a star, right? I mean, we're so star-fetished out here. I mean, you've got teenage girls making themselves pregnant so that they can be a part of the new Teen Mom season on MTV. I mean, that's how disgusting our society has turned out to be. But, you know, I mean, you know, obviously she was able to scrape up enough money, whether it's her parents or somebody scraped up enough money, so that she can get a beat produced. You know, because, I mean, that costs a little money to get that little beat produced, to be able to layer these sounds and, you know, be able to mix it down the whole 9 yards. And all she did was throw it on YouTube. That's all she did, you know? Throw it on YouTube. Everybody either hated it, loved it, whatever the case might be. And it's all over the place. You know, and look, I know I was critical of it. I don't like this Rebecca Black bimbo. I mean, in about 10 years, I wouldn't be surprised if a Lindsay Lohan situation afflicts Rebecca Black. I kid you not. If she ends up being like a Britney Spears, starts pulling all her hair out and putting tattoos on her head, I'm not joking. You know, I mean, name one child actor or one child star that has ever transpired to be a good adult. And if you can name one, I'd love to hear it. All right, 646-652-4869. But at this point in time, everybody's downloading this song. I mean, she's making $1 million on iTunes from it. You know, let the little girl do what she's going to do, all right? She's a little stupid, little quirky little girl. She's unthreatening. You know, she's not out here, you know, dancing on poles. She's not doing any kind of pre-teenage sexual suggested ideas. She's not doing any of this stuff. It's just a little innocent, stupid song. That's all it is. A little stupid little song about Friday, for Christ's sake. I mean, I cannot believe that, you know, Miley Cyrus has the audacity to sit over here and justify the monopolization of creativity. I don't understand it. And you know what, Miley Cyrus, if you're listening in, you're a stupid, disgusting whore bag, first of all. And, you know, to be honest with you, if you were in front of me, I probably would go to jail because I would be a little violent, because I'd probably shove my boot up your meat wallet, so the next kid that you probably shit out of that uterus pipe will have a good pair of boots coming down the pike. Do you understand? And bottom line is that Miley Cyrus, since you don't like Rebecca Black, since you don't like Friday, since you don't like the freedom of creativity, this song goes out to you, Miley Cyrus, Hannah Montana. Yeah.
so fast, I want him to fast. Fun, fun, think about fun. You know what it is. I got this, you got this. My friend is by my right. Hey, I got this, you got this. Now you know it. Kicking in the front seat, sitting in the back seat. Gotta make my mind up. Which seat can I take? It's Friday, Friday. Gotta get down on Friday. Everybody's looking forward to the weekend. Weekend, Friday, Friday. Getting down on Friday. Everybody's looking forward to the weekend. Partying, 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 partying. Fun, 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 fun. Looking forward to the weekend. Thursday was Thursday, Thursday. Today it's Friday, Friday. We so excited. We so excited. We gonna have a ball today. Tomorrow is Saturday and Sunday comes afterwards. I don't want this weekend to end.
R&B, Rebecca Black. So chillin' in the front side, in the backseat. I'm driving, cruising, fast lane, switching lanes with a car by my side. Come on, by it's a school bus in front of me. Makes tick-tock, wanna scream. My time is Friday, it's a weekend. We gonna have fun. Come on, y'all.
Friday, Friday, gotta get down on Friday. Everybody's looking forward to the weekend. We gonna get down Friday, Friday, getting down on Friday. Everybody's looking forward to the weekend. Partying, 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 partying. Fun, 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 fun. Looking forward to the weekend. Friday, Friday, gotta get down on Friday. Everybody's looking forward to the weekend. Weekend, Friday, Friday, getting down on Friday. Everybody's looking forward to the weekend. Partying, 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 partying. Fun, 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 fun. Looking forward to the weekend.
You're listening to Ghost on True Capitalist Radio. True Capitalist Radio.
Man, that was a Rebecca Black song. Look, I don't really like the song. People in here are like, what is this, Ghost? Come on. Hey, I'm sorry, but, the bottom line is that, what Rebecca Black means to me and what should mean to everybody out there in the internet community is that you can actually exert your creative processes and amplify them to a global audience. And if people like it, if people hate it, whatever the case might be, people will actually be able to be exposed to it. And if people really genuinely like your content, lo and behold, you can become a big star out here. And this is what happened here to this Rebecca Black. And I have to criticize Miley Cyrus recently for saying that it shouldn't be this easy to be a singer. Hey, it shouldn't be that easy for you to be an actor or you to be a singer either there, you stupid skankosaurus salvia smickin' smut bag. Jesus Christ, sound like a pick a pack of peppers there, man. Jesus Christ. Anyway, Miley Cyrus, you're a disgusting, pre-teenage whore bag. You're probably the reason why a lot of these teenage girls are getting pregnant so that they can be potential subjects to be documented on Teen Mom on MTV. It's disgusting. It's really disgusting. Hillary Swank, is not a child star. I think she was like 20 years old when she did the next Karate Kid. All right, the people in the chat room were saying, "Hey, she was a child star." And she didn't end up becoming a bad person. Hillary Swank was, like 20 years old when she was, in the next Karate Kid, all right? The Gilbert sisters, you mean to tell me that you think that the Gilbert sisters don't have problems? I mean, seriously, that one Gilbert that used to be on that show, Roseanne, I mean, just her demeanor looks like she's got a couple of problems. You know what I'm saying? I mean, she acts manlier than Moby, you know? I mean, she's like a bull-nosed bull dyke, in my personal opinion. And she looks like one of those cynical bull dykes that always has something negative to say, like, these emotional vampires. So I wouldn't say the Gilbert sisters are good. No, absolutely not. Leif Garrett, are you kidding me? I mean, did y'all just see that Celebrity Rehab? And speaking of Celebrity Rehab, man, what a scumbag that Drew Pinsky is. Man, Drew Pinsky should be bitch slapped for exploiting people that are really, kind of screwed up, for a lack of a better term. I mean, Mike Starr, the former bassist of Alice in Chains, was a subject on the latest, or one of the latest editions of, or actually last season's edition of the Celebrity Rehab. And, supposedly Drew Pinsky is supposed to be some man of the people here that, I can wean people off of drugs. And Well, anyway, Mike Starr died a couple of weeks ago of, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what he died of, but if you want my personal opinion, I think it's an overdose. But Drew Pinsky is a disgrace. And if anybody knows his email address or his phone number, let me know. I'll tell him personally he's a scumbag. Corey Feldman is not. I mean, man, y'all are pulling out some bad examples for child stars that didn't become corrupt under the system. I mean, Corey Feldman is a disgusting disgrace. I mean, he's the poster child of what you should not be. What you should not be, for Christ's sake. You know what I mean? I mean, seriously, I mean, Corey Feldman, it was because of him that Corey Haim got all hooked up on drugs, for Christ's sake. Remember, they met each other on Lost Boys, became the Toxic Twins? Although, let me tell you something, there's a B movie that they put out that was classic. I thought that was underrated, called Blown Away. It's kind of a sexually provocative movie. Believe it or not, Nicole Eckert, before she ballooned up, this is when in her Baywatch days, full naked, half softcore pornographic material. But believe it or not, the movie really is kind of cool. I like the movie. It's about I don't want to tell you, but you look it up for yourself. It's not bad. Macaulay Culkin? I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess you can say he hasn't had much problems, but I saw Party Monster, okay? I saw Party Monster. I saw him come out with the, ass cheeks exposed, garments and acting like Michael Alec in drag. And, that was a pretty shocking movie there. And not to mention that the Party Monster movie kind of over-glorified what actually happened during that whole Michael Alec, John St. John scene. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. I mean, I just, in my personal opinion, not to mention that Lady Gaga is ripping off all of them. You know what I mean? Seriously, I mean, Lady Gaga ripped off everybody. You should watch the movie Party Monster, and you'll see, first of all, Macaulay Culkin in a completely different light. But secondly, you'll understand where Lady Gaga gets all these ridiculous ideas because, hello, she's not original. She's just some stupid skankosaurus ripping people off. Anyway, 646-652-4869 is the number to call. We're just having random thoughts here. People in the chat room are trying to figure out a child star that has not, fallen off the deep end. They're trying to name these people, and it's just not, they're not bringing up decent examples. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the examples that they've brought up, they might as well throw in Gary Coleman in there. Why don't you just throw in Gary Coleman, or Webster? But we really can't include Webster because when Webster actually, Emmanuel Lewis, or whatever the hell his name is, when he was doing Webster, the guy was like 35 years old. I mean, seriously, he wasn't a kid when he was doing Webster. This guy was like 30 years old doing Webster, sitting on the lap of Larry Zonka, or whoever the hell the actor was. I don't know. Oh, Jesus Christ. Kevin Bacon? Remember, his first movie was in Friday the 13th, the original Friday the 13th movie. And in my opinion, I think he was a little older than 18, 19, 20 years old. Once you're around 18, 19, 20, you're already an adult. Your childhood has already been passed. And he turned out to be a good man, sure, but, I don't think he had a tremendous bad childhood. The chick from Juno, are you kidding me? Did you see her recently on the latest Bill Maher show? This broad was trying to stumble over her own tongue trying to explain that, the bees are running out or something. that, we need to preserve the bees, and she couldn't even literally, stumble it out of her mouth. Not to mention she looks like, somebody who would like Jodie Foster in the bedroom, if you catch my drift. You understand? If you catch my drift, she looks like she might be diving on some carpets. You know what I'm talking about? It's just my personal opinion. Oh, man, don't bring up the Olsen twins. Now, don't get me wrong. They're sitting on over $1 billion cash, but the Olsen twins, I mean, why do you think that when they found Heath Ledger dead, the first person that they called was one of these Olsen twins, for Christ's sake? You know what I'm saying? I mean, they look like spooky, wicked witches of the West, for Christ's sake. You know what I'm saying? Scott Baio, they're saying. Scott Baio. I mean, I don't know what to say. I'll give you that Scott Baio isn't a complete degenerate, but at the same time, this guy, he literally lives at the Playboy Mansion and he bangs all these Playboy broads. He's an alcoholic. I mean, he's a known alcoholic. Remember when he had that like half-ass little show? Remember the half-ass little show that he had, that reality show? It showed you into his life, a real pathetic sight. So I don't know if you really want to call Scott Baio's life a success. I guess if you're judging whether or not, how much, prime tail you've laid in your life, well, then maybe you could put Scott Baio on a pedestal, because he has laid pretty much every broad that you can think of that has ever been sought after. But, as far as him being a success as a child star, it looks, you're a typical degenerate out here, in my opinion. Seriously. Jeff Bridges was a child star? Are you kidding me? And you think that Jeff Bridges is, he's actually normal? I mean, have you seen this guy, for Christ's sake? This guy thinks he's Jerry Garcia. He thinks he's about to get on stage and, play I'm Trucking on the Bourbon Street. I mean, he actually thinks this crap. Kirk Cameron, oh, good God. I mean, you think Kirk Cameron doesn't have a few screws loose, for Christ's sake? I mean, have you seen the wide-eyed look that he gives in these little pro-Christian videos? Oh, my God, you have to love Jesus. You just have to love him, and he's your boy, he's your pal. You just got to do it. Christina Ricci, she looks like she's got a couple of problems. Jennifer Connelly, you could probably make a case for Jennifer Connelly, but I remember that moment in Requiem of a Dream. Requiem of a Dream by Aronofsky, the director Aronofsky. I remember the infamous ass to ass. All right, and if you don't know that scene, you don't need to be watching that movie. It was a disgusting scene. All right, the ass to ass scene. If you think Jennifer Connelly, had a good upbringing after that scene, well then you obviously you have a bad upbringing yourself. Neil Patrick Harris. Are you kidding me? You're at Neil Patrick Harris? I mean, this guy's servicing glory holes, for Christ's sake. What are you talking about? Angelina Jolie, you don't think she's got problems, for Christ's sake? I mean, have you seen the latest pictures of her coming out of the pike? Oh, man, she's looking haggard, man. I mean, her mouth is starting to show creases from, probably too much oral copulation. You know what I mean? She's got this bump on her nose going on. You know what I mean? It's all that stupid nut garbage she did, She was banging, what's his name? That old fart, man. What the hell? The Thornton. Billy Bob Thornton. When he was like 60 years old and she was like 18, Seriously. I mean, you can't name a child star that isn't screwed up, I'm telling you. You can't do it. I mean, you can't. Okay, we could probably make a case for Leonardo DiCaprio, all right? But at the same time, Leonardo DiCaprio's got a bunch of personality problems. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if you noticed, if you see any the time that they capture him, like in Paparazzi, he does the most stupid, obnoxious things to claim that he doesn't want attention on himself. He runs and throws his shirt on his head and throws his cap over his face. Yeah, like we don't know it's you, DiCaprio, you idiot. I mean, it's just stupid. It's unbelievably stupid. John Travolta, I know that's got to be a joke, right? John Travolta. I mean, it's come out recently. This guy's, patronizing bathhouses And, it's questionable, in my opinion, and, of course, the opinion of the Caribbean or whatever court system that they tried this in. But it seems to many people, in my opinion, of course, that he just kind of let his son just kind of, swallow his own tongue and, waited to call the, ambulance. Anyway, I don't want to talk about it. All I'm saying is I think that John Travolta's a sick, disgusting piece of trash. And if you're going to say that, he is somehow a poster child for a good child actor, that's just sick and insane, Anyway, let's take some calls here. 646-652-4869. We got area code 727 on the air. What's going on, man?
Hey, Danny Partridge turned out pretty good.
Well, yeah, I guess. I guess if you want to look at it that way, you know what I mean? I can't think of one at all, man. I can't think of one. And the reason is,
I'm thinking Sean Cassidy. I don't remember him crashing and burning.
Are you talking about the one that just got eliminated from The Apprentice?
Was he on there? That's Sean Cassidy?
Yeah, I mean, because let me tell you, I would. I like Sean Cassidy, but if you look at what happened to him on The Apprentice, I mean, he just looked horrible. As a matter of fact, anybody who does the Celebrity Apprentice should be ashamed of themselves. I mean, Meatloaf. Meatloaf doing this crap. I mean, it's a shame, and not to mention that Cassidy, if it's the right Cassidy, he looked like a complete and utter buffoon, man. I mean, they were bitching him around. I mean, he was looking to Jose Canseco to back him up and to protect him against that one homosexual from The Survivor. What the hell is his name? The guy that just got out of prison for tax evasion. What the hell is his name? Hatch. Richard Hatch. Anyway, I don't watch that show, but, I have seen, bits and pieces of it. It's kind of hilarious. And I like to see celebrities eat crow, if you will.
Hey, what do you think about Donald Trump's and the whole birther thing? I was kind of caught off guard by him.
Well, yeah, I think that it's a strange tactic for Trump to utilize if he's serious about his presidency or his attempt at running for presidency, because whether you believe it or not, I mean, it's such a delicate issue that, it kind of gives legitimacy to the extremist label that the Democrats are throwing on anybody who's in opposition to their leftist perspective. So it kind of makes me wonder what exactly the strategy is. If the strategy is to completely become the right-wing candidate, and that includes, encapsulating even the real right-wing extremists out here, then, I guess that's an idea. But in my personal opinion, he should have been more after capitalists and working people. And, in my personal opinion, a lot of the birther movement is geared in a lot of elderly people that believe in this stuff. A lot of older white people, they're ones that are really harping on it. And now, is there legitimacy behind the technicality of the birth certificate? Yes. I'll be the first one to admit that. But the way that the media has been able to manipulate the minds of the masses at this point in time, to touch that subject matter at this point in time is a little toxic, and I think it just illegitimized, his potential run at the presidency. They're going to label him as a nut, and that pretty much illegitimizes him altogether.
Yeah. Well, I don't have anything going on in the market right now, but I'm going to sign up at your website and maybe start posting some of my
man, absolutely. As a matter of fact, if you blog on that website, man, go to one of these little pay-per-click little banner sites, put yourself an account, and you can post a couple of banners on there, man.
Okay, I'll do that. But most of my, I don't figure out what I'm doing until late at night, and then I do it, and then it's too late to really tell anybody about it by the time your show comes around. So, and then I'll put it out. I'll be able to post it out there late at night, and people want to check it out before the market opens. They can actually do something with it. So.
And believe me, a lot of investors would appreciate that, man, especially options plays, because, I don't really talk about it much because that's a very delicate financial instrument to be talking about. As a matter of fact, I mean, just talking about it in general on this kind of interpersonal setting could set off alarms by this SEC that's looking to justify implementing charges on anybody at this point in time. So that's why I don't even delve into that idea. But I know that there's a bunch of options, forums, option blogs, things that give insight, and I think that you've given some pretty good insight on some of your plays, and I think that some of the information that you could provide, some investors can utilize that in their insight to make investments, man. So by all means, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'll get hooked up and I'll let you know what my username is, whatever.
All right, man. Well, I appreciate it, man. I would appreciate it if you did it, man. Really.
All right, man. Take care.
All right, you too, man. Good luck in the markets tomorrow, man.
Yes, sir. You too.
All right, man. 0727, man. He usually has pretty good plays on options, and I look forward to his commentary when he joins the CapitalistArmy.com. Of course, CapitalistArmy.com is the website for the Capitalist. Is the new social networking site exclusively for capitalists. Anyway, people are still naming. They're still naming child stars that didn't end up becoming corrupt, alcoholic, drug addict freak shows. One of them they put up was Brooke Shields. Brooke Shields, are you kidding me? This is a broad who's trying to justify this stupid, ridiculous idea of postpartum psychosis. She's trying to justify the legitimacy of women having thoughts about killing their children. There is no legitimacy for that. I don't care what kind of imbalance you have in your head. There should be no legitimacy for you to even consider you should kill your own children. As a matter of fact, folks, this seems to be a trend amongst women for the past 25, 30 years. Them wanting to kill their own children. I don't get it. I know that women can be, I'm not saying they are, they can be a little emotional. And as a result, you're having this trend towards, these women wanting to kill their children and justify it and utilize these little pseudoscientific definitions to justify them killing their kids. And if you look at these extreme cases, like that one broad who killed her kids by drowning all 5 of them, that other broad who, bit off her kid's fingers and, dismembered her kid's head and chopped her kid's arm off. All these different broads that did these things, they all got off on the technicality of postpartum psychosis and insanity. And I like to make this prognostication every time before summer. I usually make it around May time, but I'm going to make it even earlier, because we're already starting to see it out here. Some bimbo out of New Braunfels, Texas, who's supposed to be a reporter at the New Braunfels newspaper, conveniently left her kid in the car in 80, 85-degree weather we're having out here in the springtime in Texas. The kid just died and completely fried in the car, and of course, the typical hysterics that these women do basically made it seem as if, oh, look at her, she didn't want her kid to die. Oh, come on. That's horrible. No. Come on. We won't arrest her. It's an accident. It's an accident. Don't worry about it. And let me tell you something. Every year, you can look back in the archive, every year that I have been on the air, I have made the prognostication before the summer that you're going to see a rash of these occurrences of women conveniently forgetting their children in the car. All right? Straight up, they're going to conveniently leave their children in the car, and they're going to let them die, and this happens every single year. And you know how many women get off on this crime? Unbelievable amounts. This is why this happens every year, because we have scientists, pseudoscientists, justifying these dumbass concepts like Munchausen's by proxy syndrome. Oh, she didn't mean to hurt her kid. She's got Munchausen's by proxy syndrome. Oh, she didn't mean to kill a kid. She's got postpartum psychosis. Oh, she didn't. It's just an utter disgrace. It's what it is. It's an utter disgrace. And I'm telling you, be on the lookout for this new, rash in, people, women especially. If it's a man, you're not getting away with it, all right? If you're a man that leaves your kid in the car, you can cry all you want to. You ain't going to get away with it, all right? But if you're a woman, and you're tired of feeding this kid, and you're tired of, you didn't realize what you were getting into before you shitted out this child, you are given the opportunity every summer to just leave your kid in the car and just let it die, and, policemen will not turn you in. They'll call it an accident. And you see, the reason I continue to highlight this, folks, is because if we're really concerned about saving children's lives, if we're really concerned about what's going on in America and saving babies and all this other nonsense, these are the people that we should be targeting. These individuals that claim that they forget their baby in their car. How can you forget your baby in your car? How can you forget your baby? I bet you didn't forget your purse, you dumb bitch. Huh? I bet you didn't forget to do your fucking hair, you stupid whore, huh? I bet you didn't forget all your makeup and all your little clown makeup. I bet you didn't forget all this garbage, but no, you forgot your baby, huh? I forgot my baby in my car. And all they got to do is cry, and it's an accident. It's a freaking accident. Anyway, people are still playing Name a Child Star that turned out right. So let me go ahead and scroll up a little bit. Somebody said Frankie Muniz. Frankie Muniz just got arrested for beating his chick's ass, and that's after his chick beat his ass. So they're beating each other's asses in the Muniz or the Muniz or Muni, whatever his name is, in that household. Who else do we have? Alyssa Milano? Are you kidding me? Alyssa Milano. I mean, Alyssa Milano in the 90s was, Skinamax's, favorite girl to watch. Remember that? I mean, she was doing softcore porn on Cinemax. She actually made the concept Skinamax, for Christ's sake. Mario Lopez, well, I guess. I mean, I guess if you want to call him successful, I guess. I mean, I guess so. I mean, I guess you could say Mario Lopez, I guess. I don't know. Molly Ringwald, I mean, I guess you could say Molly Ringwald, too, I guess. I mean, she went out there to France, though. She tried to become a liberal, and now she's out there doing French films, believe it or not. She's doing French films. She's like, oh, somebody les French on. So, I guess I can understand Molly Ringwald. That's a decent one. But look at all these that we had to name before we started, coming across a few names that, that haven't become complete and utter basket cases. You know what I'm saying? Jaden Smith, are you kidding me? That's a joke, Peter, you piece of crap. You listen to me every day. You know I don't like Jaden Smith. You know I don't even like Will Smith or Jada Pinkett Smith, all right? I mean, I think it's a disgrace, man. Let me tell you something. I will never forget these assholes in the Smith clan forcing their child down my throat in the remake of The Karate Kid. The remake of The Karate Kid, for Christ's sake. I mean, and then, they're trying to, look, Will, Jada, we don't like you anymore, all right? First of all, Will, you sucked in Muhammad Ali, all right? In the movie Ali, you sucked. I mean, if I was Muhammad Ali's Parkinson-ridden ass, I would give you a right hook and leave you on the floor bleeding, making me look like a goddamn fool, all right? Jada Pinkett Smith, what's your deal? I mean, just because you're some little, I'm a little black woman that can snap my fingers in a Z, baby, and you're going to do what I say. You're going to do what I say. She's got Will Smith pussy whipped up in here, got him, tied down with kids, and, basically, Will Smith does what she says, even though, let's be honest, Will Smith, that broad that you call a wife lived with Tupac for a good year for some reason. You know what I mean? She lived with Tupac in California. And anybody who doesn't believe me, why don't you go look it up for yourself? There's pictures of her and Tupac. Hey, I'm living with Tupac. Supposedly they were friends, quote unquote. Yeah, we just friends, baby. We just friends. Yeah, right. Yeah, right, Jada Pinkett Smith. And now, Will Smith, you're going in and having, Tupac Shakur's 12ths. and then having a kid with this bimbo. And look at the poor kid, Jaden Smith, for Christ's sake. You can tell he doesn't want to do any of this crap. He just wants to be a rich kid and do nothing like every other rich kid does. But, you got this dumbass family of his saying, look, we want you to go out and be an actor, be the new Karate Kid, which was a horrible job of acting. And they realized, he's got Will Smith's acting skills, so they're like, okay, well, put him on the stage with Justin Bieber and try to make him a star, baby. Try to make him a star, baby. And, they went out with Justin Bieber, and, all the Justin Bieber fans were like, what the hell is this disgusting-looking, cornrow-looking, ghetto-fied piece of garbage doing on stage with Justin Bieber? So I don't get it, man. I just don't get it. Anyway, we got about 4 minutes left in the broadcast, folks. I want to thank everybody for tuning in with me once again. And if you're listening live, please join the Capitalist Army. All right? CapitalistArmy.com is the social networking site to join if you are a capitalist. Billy Zane? Are you kidding me? Billy Zane is a homosexual, man. Anyway. Vin Diesel? Are you kidding me? Vin Diesel? Oh, my God. I guess you could say Vin Diesel, I guess. I don't know. I mean, I'll acknowledge Vin Diesel when he acknowledges what the hell he is. In one talk show, he's like, yeah, I'm Italian. How you doing here, eh? I'm Italian. I'm half Italian over here. And then when he's on like a BET interview, he's like, yeah, baby, you know what I'm saying? I'm Vin Diesel. You know what I'm saying? Chill like a villain, baby. You know what I'm saying? And then when he's like, in an upper, echelon type show, like with Letterman, he's like, yes, I'm Vin Diesel, and I am an ethnically ambiguous person. I mean, it just, come on, Diesel, come on, man. And we know your name ain't Vin Diesel, so get off yourself. But anyway, CapitalistArmy.com, folks. All right? www.capitalistarmy.com, and I want you to join all capitalists worldwide throughout the globe. All right? Worldwide throughout the globe, CapitalistArmy.com. And let me tell you, it's an exclusive site. All right? We're not just letting any schmucks join, so you have to be a true capitalist out here. You can't be somebody who is collecting off the government dole. You can't be some loser collecting government cheese. You can't be doing this stuff. And not to mention, folks, that there's so many things to do on the Capitalist Army, man. It's unbelievable. And I hope that people start selling products. I hope they start selling items. They integrate a store with their profile. There's instant messaging. You can friend people. You can post pictures, videos. You can post audio. It's great. It really is cool, and it's just for capitalists, all right? So I know that guy from 213 was like, hey, baby, why'd you reject me, baby? I went to the library, and I tried to hook it up on the CapitalistArmy.com, baby, and you rejected me, Ghost. Why you rejected me? Because I'm rejecting you because you are part of the problem. And anyway, folks, I also want to know what I should do about this tech guy situation. I know that for all the individuals that are tuning in, tech guy, whoever Dick Burns is really put tech guy in a precarious situation. I mean, it's questionable on whether or not he has, participated in any of the, CP. But there is proof out there that he is collecting a government check. And I leave it up to the people of the Capitalist Army to what we should do with the tech guy. All right, I am going to post a poll on CapitalistArmy.com. All right, I just want to know what we should do, man. CapitalistArmy.com. And I'm gonna post. He's still a member of the Capitalist Army. I haven't taken him off. I don't think that the pedo thing has any kind of legitimacy, but the thing is that there is legitimacy in the fact that he is collecting a government check, which kind of goes against the whole idea of capitalism. So I'm going to be posting a poll on CapitalistArmy.com. I want you to vote on it, what we're going to do with the tech guy. And I'm going to leave it democratic, because we're about democracy. Hey, we'll be back tomorrow. Same place, same time. I hope you're here. blogtalkradio.com/ghost. All right? Anyway, let me tell you something right now, folks. I also have a Twitter account. I mean, I know that we're off the air here. But my Twitter account is Ghost Politics. All one word, no underscores. Not to mention, if you want to email me up, ghostpolitics@yahoo.com. You know what I mean? ghostpolitics@yahoo.com. Anyway, I'm out of here. Long live capitalism, folks. Long live capitalism.
You've been listening to True Capitalist Radio. The thoughts, views, ideas, comments, and opinions of the host of this show are absolutely his. Catch more live episodes Monday through Friday from 3:30 to 6:30 Central. Or check out archive shows at blogtalkradio.com. True Capitalist Radio.
That's it.
Boar's Head is bringing a slice of Japan to the deli. Introducing Boar's Head Ichiban Teriyaki-style chicken. Tender, slow-roasted chicken breast, coated in our signature teriyaki glaze, where ginger, garlic, and a hint of brown sugar meet for a flavor that's both sweet and savory. New Boar's Head Ichiban Teriyaki-style chicken. The bold flavor of Japan. Now at the deli. Only from Boar's Head. Compromise elsewhere.